Alright, let's see if we can find the stream. Alright, let's see. Alright, I think we're alright, let's see. We're doing
all good?
Pretty sure.
Nice.
Alright, I think we're alright, let's see. We're doing
all good?
Alright, there we go. Everything's working correctly for the stream. Yay! I named it Not Dead Yet because I figured why not. I'm sure many people were very concerned with where we might have gone.
The exact amount of people. The exact amount of people that normally watch is roughly the amount of people that noticed we didn't do a show for 2 weeks.
Probably just Samad, really. You know, yeah. If he noticed.
Yeah, Samad might have noticed, yeah.
If he noticed.
It's not him.
True. He might have been like, oh, I just wasn't here. I mean, you know.
He's like, usually I just accidentally know that you guys arrived.
Thought about it. You know, nice that you guys thought about me, but I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Alright, I haven't paid attention to really anything in the last 2 weeks, so.
Mitch McConnell's apparently fucking seizing up in the middle of Congress.
Oh, yeah, okay, I did hear about that. That's pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I heard that one and I was just like, really? Wow, that's out of left field, but is anybody really surprised?
Yeah, maybe we can blame him fucking over other Republicans on seizures or something.
Yeah, for real, man. For real.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but like the last election, it was like there was a race in, I think it was Alaska, and it was essentially I don't know how Alaska works exactly, but somehow it was two Republicans going against each other in the actual election, and he like threw a shitload of money at one of them as opposed to the other.
Oh, they were trying to like oust one over the other, yeah.
Yeah, well, they were both in the election, but yeah, they were like, I assume was more of the globalist, uniparty type guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were throwing a bunch of money, behind him. The other guy, like, maybe accidentally said he liked Trump or something. I don't know. So
yeah, you're not allowed to be a fan of Trump.
Yeah. Even the fucking Republicans in Congress.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. The weird venomousness that is directed towards Trump is just absurd.
Yeah. Did you watch that video of Ryan Long?
I missed that one. Oh, no, I missed that one, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to watch that because it sounded entertaining.
They're so fucking angry, dude. It was so... dude, he's brave, dude. I would not go into New York City anywhere and be like, all right, we're trying to find collect donations for Trump's legal fund. They're so fucking angry, dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing.
Absurdly so, like, I'm sure. To the level where it's you've lost touch with reality. All right, cool. You know, because like there's a point at which you're like, yeah, it's time to like fucking relax. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people there that need to just fucking relax.
Yeah, it's the level of fucking hatred is. All right, what the fuck did he do? Besides not what the establishment assholes wanted.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did wrong that was so bad.
Yeah, like I get why the establishment fuckers hate him, Republican or Democrat, but like the average people, well, I guess it's been again propagandized to such a degree.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's so much propaganda that people just aren't capable of like rational thought or something.
Yeah. You get stuck on that ideological autopilot. And you're like, well, CNN doesn't like him, so he must be
if
bad.
you're incapable of separating the reality of there really aren't like there are like Jeffrey Dahmer like monsters, but the reality is that everybody is just like a person, and that there isn't like a good or a bad guy in the real world, like really, like that's just not how it works.
Yeah, that agree to disagree thing is just gone. Like now it's like, no, if you disagree, you're clearly evil and you're a Nazi. You have to be.
Yeah, and when you think in terms of good and evil, you don't really think of your opponent as an actual human being with like reasonable needs and expectations.
Yeah, so I suppose it's a combination of the propaganda and the online nature of current day.
Yeah,
it just really contributes to that depersoning of not like, especially online. You're not thinking of the people or I do, but most people don't fucking think of the other people you're interacting with as fucking actual human beings. They're just things on a fucking screen that you're arguing with.
Yeah, and then you meet them and you're like, oh, that guy looks a lot like Guy Fieri for some odd reason.
Hey, who? Do I look like Guy Fieri?
A little bit, like a fatter Guy Fieri. Kind of like I'm a fatter Buddha.
I've never heard that. I did kind of have my yeah. I felt bad about that, and I'm like, I weighed myself. Well, not really bad because I was like, I'm fat too. But then I'm like, maybe I'm not as fat as I used to be. And then I weighed myself. I was actually under 300, which I was surprised. I was at like 297. My son had brought a scale with him on vacation because he's that age.
Oh, he's working on. He said he was working on a health kick that he wouldn't eat any food because of the. Like he's trying to specifically like have a specific diet kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He works out. He fucking.
So he happened to have it. That makes sense, You're working on a specific diet and you're trying to like really like watch your weight for something specific.
Yeah.
Keep the,
so it was there. I'm like, I haven't weighed myself in forever. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm gonna check it. Why not? And I was like 297. I'm like, holy shit! I thought I was at least 320. Like, it's been a while since I'd been under 300. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm still fat enough to call someone else fat and have it not be me. Right?
Oh, and well, I am fat. Like, I don't see why I would be offended by that. Like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah, but still, it's kind of
one of my pet peeves. Is the people that are like, you can't call it's mean. You can't call that person, but they are. So why not? Like, what's the problem? I don't see the issue. Like, I don't take offense. It's just a fucking factual statement.
Yeah,
like, I might as well get mad at, like, fucking the sun for being, like, hot or something. Like, oh, the fucking sun's hot, motherfucker.
Yeah. So I did think you liked it, with the shaved head especially. You looked a little Buddha-like.
Oh, yeah, the shaved head. Yeah, the shaved head I like, man. I am sticking with that. Because, like, I started doing the Friar Tuck fucking male pattern baldness look. And I'm like, I'm already fat. Let's not fucking do that, too. That's just not right. We gotta fix this.
No amount of hair or pinstripes is gonna save this. Fuck it.
Nah. I had a really good friend in college when I was going to the local JC to get my automotive certificate, and his dad had like a Trump style, like a dead animal on your head style comb over.
Right.
And I looked at it and I'm like, Jesus fucking kill me before I do that to my own fucking head.
Mm-hmm.
And he got super mad at me, his dad, because I forget. I'm like, oh, there are people whose fathers and them have positive relationships. That's right.
Mistake. Gotcha.
Like, I would never have done that if I'd realized, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not the norm with the hatred,
Well, even then, I mean, I don't know. You gotta have some objectivity and realize how fucking funny it is that your dad's trying to pretend he's not bald.
It was fucking
really how badly
it genuinely looked like a dead animal had fucking died on this man's head.
Yeah, you gotta be able to. Again, it's just a lack of objectivity.
Yeah.
I can laugh at that. Even though my relationship with my dad was fairly decent by the end. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a little weird. Like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But he got really mad about it. I'm like, look, dude, it's nothing against your dad. It's just that hair is really obvious. And he eventually was like, yeah, you're right. You know, like, but this is in our like 20s. I think I was like in my late 20s. He was in his early 20s at the time.
Yeah, that is a big. What do you call it? Transitional age.
Yeah, you're kind of getting away from that.
Happening.
That sort of like your dad is like the one true God.
Yeah. I don't know how well my son's going to do with it, but I seem to still have a pretty full head of hair, so that's kind of nice.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, hey, if you got the full head of hair, I'm definitely not
my dad didn't, so it's usually supposed to skip a generation. So, but I don't know, he's 19, still got all his hair, so maybe he'll be all right.
Yeah, maybe you're lucky. You never know. They say it's supposed to go from your mother's father's hairline is what you should expect. Is what I've always been told.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's real or just, some sort of fucking weird bullshit that somebody came up with sometime.
Yeah, my grandfather didn't lose too much of his hair, so could be. Or my mom, my mom's father, obviously. He seemed to keep a pretty good head of hair.
Yeah,
I mean, he's fucking 91 years old.
Oh, damn. Lived to a nice ripe age, too. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because my dad's dad, he keeled over in like his early 50s. Then my mom's dad lives to like 91.
Yeah, my dad with all of his like drugs and alcohol made it to his 60s. So I gotta say, I'm working on losing the weight right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Actually,
I don't
my dad did
keel over quite that early.
Yeah, my dad did not. He wasn't like fat or anything, but he didn't really take care of himself either. And he made it into his 70s. So yeah, I'd be all right. I'm probably not making it to 91. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say my utter lack of dedication to trying to prolong my existence.
Oh yeah. You're not like spending every fucking waking minute like trying to figure out a way to make yourself healthier and live longer, kind of thing. You're not doing like the Bill Gates.
I just generally eat what I feel like eating, and half the time it's like 20 cookies or something for a meal.
I got a whole system going right now. I'm working on lunch next. So one of the things I noticed, just for me, I don't know if this works for everybody, but for me, making small changes and making them consistent over time is what tends to work the best long term, so that you're not like, just immediately fucking done.
And, so you don't get like burnt out on it because you're a drastic change all of a sudden.
Exactly. So right now I've got the 400 calorie breakfast down, where it's either a piece of fruit or some berries mixed into some granola and yogurt, and it tastes phenomenal. So it's not like you're I'm sacrificing the flavor. And then for lunch, I'm gonna do a thing where I probably go with jerky, fruit, and like maybe string cheese or something. So I'm getting some snacky kind of foods, but it's like under 400 calories as well, hopefully.
Yeah. Nice.
And then after that comes dinner, and then I'll have like 1,600 calories a day, hopefully. Or no, would that be 400 a meal? Would be 1,200 a day, so that should be pretty low, enough for me to be losing weight, even if I can't exercise as much as I'd like with my back.
Yeah, and I'm honestly, in my experience, diet is much more important than the exercise. Yeah, no matter how much you exercise, if you're eating fucking more calories than your body needs, even with the exercise, you're still going to gain weight, or certainly not lose it. But yeah, the only times I've ever lost like a lot of weight quickly, it was because of my diet more than my exercise.
Nice.
Exercise helps, certainly.
Yep. Oh, it makes a big
Diet is
difference.
much more key.
If
Diet is
you've got the
definitely
diet down, exercise will have a huge impact. But you got to also have the diet down to, like, you know, have that impact.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any sort of diet, like if you're just literally just eating like all the food every single day, then there's no amount of exercise that's going to be enough for you to keep up with that kind of like calorie intake, because there's so many foods that are like super duper dense in calories, but not dense in like how much space they take up in your stomach.
Oh, right.
You know, like typically when we were younger, if you were to take a donut and check the calories on that donut would probably have somewhere in the range of like, I'm just going to say like 50 to 100 calories, and now it's probably 200 to 300. Just because of like the amount of sugar and shit that they throw in these things now.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is way sweeter nowadays. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of sugar and all that other stuff that gets added in.
It's almost always the high fructose corn syrup shit now instead of actual sugar.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if that's actually worse for you. I know it doesn't taste as good, so maybe I'm not.
High fructose corn syrup is worse because there's no, what do you call it? Processing between eating it and having it stored as fat.
Oh, like
so your body can immediately store it as fat without having to process or do any extra work.
That sucks.
Yep. Well, I mean,
that's all around worse than regular actual sugar.
Yeah. Yep.
Doesn't taste better. Like sugar is a much more effective sweetener.
Yeah, and you can make sugar from a lot of things, and you know if you're eating depending on how you're eating it. So like I'm not cutting sugar entirely out of my diet, right? Like that would be silly, and I'm not gonna like never have another like ice cream or candy bar or whatever. Like that would also be equally silly. So it's like once a week I have something that's like really really nice. So, like this week I bought a small box of, like truffles from Lady Godiva.
Oh, nice.
But it's like, so I'll have a nice dessert on my weekend to, enjoy my weekend, and then back to fucking 1,200 calories hopefully soon.
Yeah. Having a cheat day every once in a while is nice too, I would imagine.
Yeah, once in a while I'm going to want to have like a fucking cheeseburger or a burrito or something. Like, you just got to not go crazy. So, like, you can't eat 1,200 calories a day for like a week and then eat like 20,000 calories for a day.
Right.
Like some of these people talk about, like these fucking huge bodybuilders. And it's like, yeah, they do their cheat day because they still need to get like 10,000 calories a day because of how much muscle mass they're using.
Yeah, and they're exerting a lot of fucking energy in the weights and shit.
So maybe like having a cheat day where you like have a couple of nice donuts in the morning and then like a cheeseburger for lunch and a burrito for dinner is no big deal. But you don't want to have like 2 cheeseburgers and a milkshake and cheese fries and for one meal,
Yeah, you don't want to go completely crazy on your fucking cheat day.
Yeah. Completely lose any of the progress you made.
I'm gonna eat a whole week's worth of calorie on my cheat day. Should be fine.
And it's doable, man. You can just go down to the store and get to the right ingredients and fucking, and the calories through the roof.
Indeed. Yeah, a lot easier than you might think.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, what else is going on? Oh, I don't know if you saw what Mitch McConnell looks like now, but that's where it gets weird. Like he's starting to fade away. Like the picture I saw of him most recently was from like a thumbnail for one of Tim Pool's videos on him. So, grain of salt and all that.
Right.
But it looked like he was just starting to fucking melt.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yep.
Yeah, like he's just falling apart. Damn. He's not going to be making it much longer, it seems like, at least.
He's got an odd-looking, like, frown on his face now.
Yeah, he's got that perma-frown, that old man perma-frown.
Yeah, that's definitely, probably not even a frown. It's probably literally his fucking face is paralyzed from the fucking mini strokes.
Oh, I'm sure. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Yeah, no, he's definitely looking rough, dude. God damn. Yeah, put him on whatever regimen they're doing with Biden to keep him
from falling apart, literally.
Yeah, almost coherent. You see where he was at that, like, some meeting, Biden was at some meeting for the victims of the wildfires in Maui, I think.
And, like, fell asleep, yeah.
He fucking fell asleep. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, it's silly. I mean, he's clearly not capable of doing what he... Well, I mean, what is it, I mean, there's that, and then what is it, Feinstein had to turn over, like, the power of attorney?
Yeah,
for her fucking
and yet
daughter, and she's still in Congress. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's getting really fucking
and it's
ridiculous.
not even like a case of like, oh, well, they might get a Republican in, because it would just be Gavin Newsom would appoint the other person to take her place when she's gone.
Yeah. It's like, no, they're easier, for us to manipulate when they've lost their minds. We can keep them going for like, 30, 40 minutes a day. And, don't let them out in the public any other time in that little window.
Yeah.
Although Feinstein, I don't think they can even do that, really. She's really fucking gone.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with Feinstein.
Really,
that's a rough one.
She really does not seem to understand where she is at any time, dude.
Yeah, she's gonzo. She's fucking donezo. She's well past the age where she should have just been hanging out, eating tapioca pudding and playing cards with some other fucking old ladies in the corner, making eyes at the old guy and the fucking the old men who are still looking a little dapper, who's still looking for a little bit of loving.
Yeah, the silver foxes.
Exactly. It's all they.
Oh yeah. What did I say? Vonnegut's name? Oh, and the Welcome to the Monkey House. They called them Foxy Grandpas.
Foxy Grandpas.
I don't know if you ever read
that.
Go. Yeah, I don't know if you ever read that. It's a short story by Vonnegut. It's basically where I think it's like people can live forever. They don't have sex anymore because they invented some pill that makes you numb from the waist down.
Oh, so you're just not interested?
Yeah, and then fucking basically there's these essentially suicide parlors or whatever where they're supposed to go when they and the nurses are supposed to essentially kind of humor them and guide them towards agreeing to get killed, basically.
Wow.
It's a weird. Yeah, it's a pretty fucking dystopian.
It's not dark at all.
A good story though.
Yeah, it's a great story. Just dark as fuck?
Uh, Actually, I kind of forgot about one of the major ones. Is there's a dude that's kind of like against that, and he's gotten a little fucking army of the nurses. Like he's slowly
Oh,
kind of
slowly taken
kept them
over kind of
away, and he
thing.
like, yeah, and he basically like, like fucks them mostly against their will. So yeah, no, that one's pretty dark. I forgot. Somehow I completely forget that part of it.
Kurt Vonnegut, dark? I don't understand.
Yeah, yeah, it's very odd. Hmm. Although in the story, apparently he goes about it in some way where they're eventually grateful for the fact that he liberated them from the, numbness from the waist down thing.
Oh,
But
I
anyway,
imagine they really enjoy that after a while. Yeah, good point. That would be.
right.
I mean, that's just a physical response to a thing.
Yeah, because fucking nurses in their 60s that have never had sex. So
Suddenly
once
having an
that,
orgasm. Yeah, that would be pretty fucking mind blowing.
so yeah, he's like, I never do anything until those men. So I guess that's kind of a nice thing.
Yeah, seems pretty decent.
Whatever. It's a short story. You can run through it pretty quick.
I'm replacing all of my Thrall's pants.
Nice.
I realized there's a much better looking set of pants in the armor. And so I'm ensorceling all of their fucking clothing to make it look nice.
Good shit.
Not that I have, it's like dressing them like dolls.
Yeah. I hear you. That is kind of what the whole. I remember a friend of mine told his kid that when they were doing like a character creator.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, all right, dude. Even that, he's like, all you're doing is playing with dolls, son. Like, it's kind of harsh.
Kind of is. Except
Right.
the thing I got these guys for, and it's going to be a very interesting new aspect of this game on the 21st when they release the next big update. The purge mechanic, which it used to be, as you progress in the game and you do stuff, building, killing something, picking, looting treasure chests, whatever, like just stuff you do in the game, you would build your purge meter. And like you can see down here, like mine's getting close to the first bar or whatever. I don't know if you're looking or not, or if anybody's looking, but whatever.
Yeah, let's do whatever
once
you're
it
talking about.
reaches a certain height, then a bunch of NPCs attack one of your bases at random. Well, nobody liked that shit, right?
Right.
Everyone's like, you're never fucking prepared. By the time the first one comes, you get fucking overwhelmed. It's not a challenge. It's just just fucking obnoxious and blah blah blah.
You have to hope you're in the right spot at the right time, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what they're doing is they're changing it so that you make a treasure room in your base, right? So you make your treasure room. You fill it with a certain amount of treasure, and then there's 10 levels of purge, depending on how much treasure's in your treasure room. And you gotta opt in. You gotta click a button that says, "Hey, I'm flaunting my wealth in order to draw the purge to me. Otherwise, they'll never attack."
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta actually choose to do it. So you build up a base that you want them to attack, and then there's a bunch of loot that they drop and stuff you can get from the rewards for beating them if they attack your base. And they attack the base you have the treasure chest at, so it's not like it's a random thing. It's
yeah, so you can choose when it happens and be prepared for it.
Exactly, when and where, and you're not like, oh, fuck, you're like, oh, you're ready, you set your defenses up, and it's kind of a fun little thing to do to give you a little bit of challenge, especially if you're not playing with, what do you call it?
Yes, what do
PvP.
you
You're
call
not
it?
playing where enemies can attack
Oh,
you.
okay.
So if you're playing
Right,
PvE
with the
where
other
you're just
players.
checking out the lore and all that kind of stuff for the fun of it, this gives you an opportunity to have like a real combat challenge, so you can kind of fight off a raid on your base. And they'll actually build like a little base camp and send their little guys from their base camp at you.
Right
So that's
on.
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things that really sucks about the PvP shit. It's being able to get attacked when you're not online.
Yeah, I think they set most people play on servers where there's a set time for raiding.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, so essentially like, pardon me, like as long as you're online between the hours of like 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. or something on these 2 days every week, you're not offline when they raid. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, as far as
Is
like,
it impossible to? Is it impossible to raid, or is that just like one of the rules? People can break the rule and be an asshole.
oh, it won't work. You can't damage the base.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering, dude. Because, like, so games that I'd play, those, like, you'd agree, like, hey, we're only doing it on this day, or whatever times. But then some asshole would fucking decide to be an asshole and just start attacking people for no fucking reason, not on the time when it's supposed to be allowed. That's cool that they can actually set the rules up
Yeah, absolutely.
like that. Yeah.
It is one of the really nice things about the way they set up the multiple options for servers. Because, like, Satan and what's his little communist friend?
Yeah, Lyman.
Lyman.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't hack the PvP, but they didn't want to play the PvE. And it was just like... But that's what's there. If you don't want to get your stuff stolen...
Yeah.
You play PvE
right.
And they don't steal your stuff, and it's like I'm more than happy to play along with whatever like I can handle, like if they steal my stuff, it's like whatever, I can get more stuff. It's not that hard to like mine resources in a game, and it's a game. I'm playing the game, so it's like I'm gonna be enjoying myself. I would hope you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, otherwise why do it?
Yeah, but like I play the PvE because I'm not a fan of doing that solo, because you're gonna be playing against 3 and 4 man teams a lot of times, so it's kind of I might be good at the game, but I'm not that fucking good. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
I was chatting with one of the guys I know from the karaoke group, and he's talking about starting up a new server with his friends from from his friends from Hawaii, and getting a clan going. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like fun. But he wants to play like on a private server where no one else gets to play, and I'm like, well, that's not really that great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right for
unless you got,
what do you call it, PvE stuff. But even with PvE, I like seeing other people build on the map too, because it's like, oh, you might come across this base you haven't seen before, and it's super awesome looking.
Yeah, get some good ideas for your own base, that kind of shit.
Exactly, and just appreciate the cool shit that other people make, because there's a lot of cool shit to be seen out there.
Indeed. Yeah, the dude that made the ship was very impressive.
Yeah, the ship was cool. There's a lot of giant castles, so those are less impressive. There's three things I think that are done way too often, and it's people making super giant big castles, people making pyramids, and people that make like a garden Roman sort of type base.
Like a Roman villa base.
Exactly. Yeah, they got the the lush garden and the marble kind of flooring and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with any of the bases. If you do it right, it looks cool. It's still fun, but it just seems like everybody builds that. So what's the point? I like seeing the people that build things like villages, though. Like, I prefer that kind of shit. Where it's like something like...
anything unique. Yeah, anything that's unique and different is going to be cool, generally.
Something that works with the area that they're building in. So, like, that guy built on the river and he made it look like a boat. Building up in the mountains, make it look like something that belongs up in the mountains, like a chateau or something, as opposed to... especially on a PvE where you don't have to worry about somebody coming along and blowing up your shit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the guy that built it on the river, like, he had to actually build shit all the way down to the bedrock to the river, right?
Yeah, you gotta put supports through the water all the way down underneath it. Yeah. So there's two things that can support to the ground. There's the foundations, which are the big square blocks, and then there's pillars. And you can build pillars which are thin, narrow, like pillars. You know what a pillar is.
Yeah.
You build those, and then you can put ceiling blocks on the very top of them, and then have your floor or your bottom of your base all built with ceiling tiles, and it works just fine. Like, you can still build walls and work your stuff up to work for that.
Yeah, whatever heights.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, to make a ship that actually looks like a ship when that's not intended to be possible is, again, very impressive.
That's the kind of stuff I dig. I dig the things that look like they're part of the game. Like, you go down to that area of the jungle, there's all these sunken ships. So another sail ship hanging out in the river, it looks like it belongs there.
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, what is this?
I assume that's the best part, is just seeing what people come up with. That's, again, hasn't been done yet. Yeah.
Yeah, or like they build in a forested area and they make it look like a log cabin. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that about the mountain one, too. Like, a nice log cabin would be good.
Yeah. Something that looks like it belongs in that area, something that fits along with the atmosphere that they already tried to create with their own, with the way the game works.
Yeah, it's like an Adobe thing in the mountains would look kind of silly, and a log cabin in the fucking silly. But if you do it in the right spot, it looks pretty fucking cool.
Exactly. Like, I went to an area where it was kind of a crossroads where there's a bunch of different areas you could get to from that specific spot. And I built like a small village at one point. Well, it wasn't a small village. It took a few minutes to ride like a horse across it, so it was pretty big.
Yeah.
But then I went and because you build your base in this, but they've got a whole plethora of like decorations. There's like a bunch of different kinds of carpets and rugs. Probably a dozen different like ways to light stuff with torches. Or maybe a couple dozen different kind of torches and hanging braziers and all sorts of like stuff that has fire, like torches and all sorts of wacky things to light your bases up with. And then they got like dishes. You can put down like plates and cups and bowls and bigger pots and pans that they would cook with or something like that. All sorts of chairs and like beds and different styles of furniture and whatnot. They got paintings you can put on the wall, tapestries. Some of them even like reflect things that you did.
Oh wow!
So like
reflecting your
yeah. So when you build the tapestry, if you go and you kill like a world boss before it might depict that world boss in the tapestry when you build it. It'll like randomly select the scene with that, like the giant evil spider monster that you kill.
Is it possible for you to design your own like tapestries or shit like that?
No,
or,
I think they don't allow that because of the
never
how
mind.
many Nazis and how many dicks would be there.
Yes. I just realized after I said it, I immediately was like, oh yeah, no, that's gonna get abused. That's gonna end badly.
Yeah, what was it when I played Sea of Thieves? There was always talk of, oh, can't we make our own custom figureheads and flags? And they were like, we'd really like to do that. We've been talking about it. We'll keep talking about it. Which was code for, like, never gonna fucking happen.
Right.
Because
we
like,
know
the second they do, it's just gonna be dicks and swastikas. Like, that's all that's gonna be there.
Yeah, so, it would be nice if the internet wasn't the internet.
Yeah, exactly. It would be really great if the internet wasn't the internet, but unfortunately, the internet's the fucking internet. So, that's not going to work out.
Toxins, swastika everywhere.
So that's just how that goes, unfortunately. But I thought it was cute of them to like let people think they're really considering it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Although I don't see why they can't just come out and be like, what would happen if we did that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would.
I want you to think that through.
Corporations think Twitter's real.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just like a sort of weird gathering place of the stupidest fucking retards that are going to react in the worst possible way to every single thing on the planet because they're just fucking overgrown fucking adolescent losers.
Yeah.
With nothing to do with their fucking time.
Very loud minority of fucking
pre-adolescent. Pre-adolescent. I don't know why I would give them the courtesy of calling them adolescent. They're not that old.
Yeah. Hopefully someday they will achieve the maturity level of adolescence.
Yeah, but they're basically just a bunch of fucking retards over there. And they buy into that shit. So like, all these companies are always like, on tenterhooks, worried that like they're gonna look bad for the fucking retard brigade on the Twitter. So they never do that shit, unfortunately. I think it would be cool if they did, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I'm thinking they might be starting to realize it. How it's just a bunch of people whose voices are seemingly amplified by Twitter and that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's an incredibly small percentage of people that actually buy into this bullshit. They're just the ones that do. Are obsessive about it and post constantly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a large group of people. It's just a very loud, sad, pathetic group of people.
Yeah. That engages it all fucking day long. While the normal people, the vast majority of people might post 2 or 3, 4 times a day, whatever, if that, and disagree with this stupid shit.
Yeah.
And again, because they're not posting all day, every day, obsessively, they don't think that those people exist for some reason.
Yeah, the people on Twitter are the people that think that a guy wearing a hoodie and glasses on TikTok means that's just the ultimate in scientific fucking like you've reached the scientific consensus of the world. Nothing could be more scientific than that guy with hoodie and glasses because he sounds like he's very intelligent with his sassy response, his way of talking, and You know, just kind
Yeah.
of nonsense stuff like that.
Yeah, the delusional arrogance, is a big fucking problem. It's like, did I ever? I don't know if I had ever shared it, but that fucking bitch that thought that Rome, like all of ancient Rome, like the Roman Empire, was made up. Like all the
Wow,
history of Rome as an empire was all made up.
that's a that's a take.
And she's so. Oh, you've never seen it, dude? She's so fucking smug
You've
and
shown it
arrogant
to me.
about it.
I
It's
remember it, but
fucking
it was just
amazing.
one of those things that was like, it still is just like, goddamn.
Dude. Yeah,
The more
I'm
you
like,
talk
that's a
about it, the more I
lot.
remember it, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was fucking
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. No, she was so smug and so arrogant. Like there was, in her mind, it was an absolute certainty, no fucking question about it. And like just a fucking cunty bitch about it. Like when people correct her, oh, sweetheart, oh, like you know what I mean? That kind of condescending shit. When people would point out how fucking stupid she was, and then she'd act like they're the fucking dumbasses. Yeah, it's that kind of shit. She's kind of the poster child for that kind of thing. I think weird fucking cat filters and shit. I think her name. I think she went by Mom Lynn.
Oh, that sounds really familiar. I think you did show me the video. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be surprised if I hadn't posted it at some point. But yeah, dude, it's so
Yeah,
yeah,
and she's just like vehemently like, oh my god, why would you guys keep trying to tell me this shit is real? Blah blah blah.
yeah,
You'd never believe this
yeah,
crazy motherfucker said, and you're like, you mean the guy that's just talking about documented history? Like, do you not really
yeah.
not think that's real?
Yeah, it's very odd. They're like, you think they came up with like thousands of years worth of fake history for this shit? Like, and for why? Yeah, it's. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, again, that's very prevalent. Trying to find a pic because she loves her fucking filters,
Yeah.
which is very weird. But yeah, here. This is one. No filters on this one, but it's a few different shots of shit. It's about how you expect. I think. Post that right about now. See if that actually goes through. Yeah, that bitch. I don't know if you're looking at
Yeah.
Discord or not.
Yeah, the middle picture looks really familiar. I think that was in the video. Or at least in one of the videos I watched. Wow. Yeah, it's weird what people will convince themselves. Here's one of the ones that I've seen a lot of. There's a guy who does. He watches through replays of video of games in Overwatch 2. And he doesn't do it like super seriously, but he does give really good advice and point out like, you know, mistakes people are doing, but in a very fun and lighthearted manner. And it's always interesting to see like what the person is probably thinking. Like he has a pretty good way of pointing out like from what their actions like. Here, I get what you're thinking. Here's what you thought maybe. You go and you take them by surprise. But what you need to understand is here's what that team sees when you do that. And so all these people will send their VODs in and be like, oh, my team was awful and I'm stuck in this rank and I can't get out of bronze because my team is just so bad and blah, 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 whine, bitch, moan. And it's amazing, like, when you look at how the other team sees it, it's like, oh no, you were just standing there in the middle of nowhere for no reason waiting to get shot.
Right. I posted on a short from the Lore Lodge guy. Just a quick one of the quick little debunkers of her fucking nonsense. The mom millennial bitch. I like the Laura Lodge guy. He's buddies with Wendigoon. He's all right. I think
is
the
good.
Laura
I
Lodge
like
guy.
Wendigoon. I really that guy's a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. I think him and Wendigoon. Like I know they're friends. Whatever. I think they actually went on like a camping trip to one of the spots that they had both talked about, like a disappearance spot, like a missing 411 thing. I think they actually hung out and like did videos from the spot of one of the missing 411 spots. Yeah, they interact pretty regularly, for sure. But yeah, he does good work. I like him because he's from what I've seen of him so far, he's very even-handed. Like he was doing a thing on I forget what the show Graham Hancock was doing, but what you generally get is people that are like either Graham Hancock's a total fraud or Graham Hancock is 100% right. And this guy is kind of like, okay, well, this is actually pretty solid. This, I don't really agree with, and I think he's mistaken here. Like he's really even-handed. Like he really values like the truth.
Yeah.
Which I feel like Wendigoon's like that too. So it probably makes sense that they're, because I remember commenting on that. I'm like, hey, I'm not used to seeing people,
Yeah. Well, and everybody wants to think of Graham Hancock as a kook because he's pointing out that a lot of what we know about history is probably wrong.
Yeah, and the way the archaeological community works is very like insular and very resistant to correcting themselves when they might have been wrong. It's very odd.
Which is kind of sad academic. If you think about it, really.
Oh, it's fucking incredibly sad. It's like, okay, so you thought something for a long time, and it turned out it might have been not exactly right. So fucking update it. Who fucking care? Like, I don't understand it, dude. It's very fucking bizarre.
Oh yeah, they made being right almost into a part of their personality, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like it's an ideology, basically, which again should never be the case in any fucking science, dude.
Exactly.
It should not be a fucking ideology, man. Like, nope, sorry, the lore is well established here. The religion of fucking archaeology. Yeah, it's like, dude, if something contradicts it, look into it some more and say, oh, maybe we could have been wrong on this.
I don't know.
Exactly. I like Graham Hancock. It seems to be genuine, at least. Like, I don't think he's making shit up. I think he's expressing what he genuinely thinks. He's not really, doesn't seem to be really pushing
wrong, and he would accept if he was proven wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, he's literally said, like, the fingerprints of the gods, like, it's one of his first books. He's like, yeah, I was wrong about a lot of that shit. It turns out I was wrong. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, again, you don't see a lot of that either. So, yeah, it's nice. I mean, there are people that are in those spheres, whether it's the ancient alien shit or, the ancient cataclysms or any of that. There's a lot of grifters.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, when you come, people that are just fucking pushing the shit so they can get paid to fucking do lectures or, show up at conventions and shit.
Yeah, oh, yeah, don't I know it?
Yeah, Hancock seems to be again, someone who's genuine, at least. Again, not always right, obviously. Nobody is. But yeah, I don't know. I think of some of them. David Wilcock is one that seems like he's totally a grifter. Doesn't give a shit about the truth. There's a lot of them, actually. He's the one I despise the most for some reason.
I'm sure you have a good reason.
Yeah, it's just, again, sometimes you just see somebody and you're like, I feel like I don't know. I look at you and I just feel like you're completely full of shit.
There's there's like things that you pick up on. You know what I mean? Like you may not consciously note them. You know what I mean?
Right,
but you'll definitely note them. So like some people, you just look at it, and you're like, nah, that guy. There's something wrong
there's something off about that person.
And I say you really ought to trust those gut feelings. You know, most of the time they're right.
Yeah.
A lot of people will, I'm
Yeah.
sure, say, "Oh, never judge a book by its cover." But sometimes you just get a feeling about a certain person, and you're like, "Man, that person isn't right in the head." You know, or they're just not. That's not a person that I would feel safe around. You know?
Yeah. And some people can fool you, you know, but generally you're going to be right, you know, more often than not.
Yeah, exactly.
Much more often than
And
not.
be, you know, I suppose you should be open to if they do eventually prove themselves to be trustworthy. You know, like, oh, okay, fine, they're trustworthy. But
Yeah, okay. All right. I obviously misjudged this person.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a kind of thought everyone should have, you know. I am definitely capable of being wrong. I might be wrong. Like that kind of thought
yeah,
should always be in
and
everyone's
you
head.
should be happy when somebody gives you information that enlightens you to what you were wrong about, because now you don't have to be
Yeah.
wrong anymore. Like now you can
Yeah.
be
Yeah. You
correct.
don't have to irrationally fight against acknowledging that you made a mistake.
Exactly. It's like it's not. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. It's not like some sort of bad thing that you did, or you didn't. You know, you're not a bad person or something like that. You're not stupid. You just were misinformed or ill-informed, and now you have the opportunity to be correct.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
people need to embrace that opportunity. That's the part that is
Yeah.
unfortunate that they don't
Yeah.
embrace, because it's like, you know, you should be thrilled that you were proven. Now you know what you should and shouldn't, you know, do.
Yeah, you should, yeah, recognize the fact that you might not, you know, might occasionally be wrong about shit, and then fucking proceed accordingly.
Exactly.
It's what's scary about like the way people treat these ideologies, whether it's again archaeology or whether it's political ideology or social whatever the fuck. It's essentially it's indistinguishable from religion.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's entirely, you know, not entirely, but it seems to be almost entirely faith based. Especially like leftist shit nowadays. It's like you fucking were taught this shit on some weird emotional level, and so you bought it, and you're angry about the bad stuff that's supposed to be out there that doesn't really necessarily exist, or certainly not to the level that it's claimed. But you fucking have faith. You fucking believe it.
Yeah.
And you don't fucking, you know, critical thought is fucking gone. You should think
Yep.
critically about every fucking scenario.
Well, and why is the person in the classroom infallible just because they signed up for a job to teach people? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I grant you they're more likely to be correct than the average person.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. I'll grant that one all day. But that doesn't mean they're infallible and that they can never be wrong, and that the information that they were taught
Yeah.
can't be incorrect unintentionally. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Although there is that saying, those who can't do, teach.
Yeah. That's a fair
Like if
point, though,
somebody's teaching
too.
literature, but didn't fucking, you know,
Has
can't
never
write the
written a
fucking,
book, then maybe you do take whatever they're saying with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I had an English teacher that was wanted us to write a paper about a poem that she loved, but the problem was it was a shitty fucking poem.
Wow, dude. That's fucking ridiculous.
And she was very unhappy with me for writing down that I thought it was a shitty fucking poem. And I had to write that whole paper over again because she couldn't handle that I didn't like her fucking poem.
Wow.
Which was just
This
kind of
was in
sad.
high school?
No, this was in
Was it high
fucking
school teacher?
college, junior college.
Oh, wow.
Her last name was Reader, so,
Christ.
not that surprising.
Right. Uh, yeah, that kind of shit. You're like, no, this is objectively a great poem. Like, no, all that shit's subjective by
Yeah,
nature.
it was a fucking terrible, boring ass poem about some fucking horse that somebody carved in the side of the hill that didn't really fucking mean anything.
But she assigned a lot of
Well,
profundity to
no,
it,
this
basically.
fucking poem assigned this great noble fucking cause with this fucking horse that these people carved on
Wow.
the side of the hill. Nah, you know what? They were like, we fucking like horses, man. And they carved a big fucking horse on the side of the hill because they were fucking cavemen. There was no,
Right.
like, deep embedded, like
Yeah.
amazingly intellectual fucking processing of, like, all of the things a horse was to their society. There was like, horses are awesome. We like horses. Let's make a big horse.
Yeah. No, they must have had a horse god fucking.
You'd have thought these were the most beautifully zen existential fucking cavemen on the planet.
Right.
This poem, it was just nonsense. It was somebody getting high off the smell of their own fucking farts.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. But it was one of those goofy things. So it was like, man, whatever. Like, I don't care. But I wrote the paper the way she wanted it. Whatever. I ended up leaving that class though, because unsurprisingly, I was like, I realized after, like, I think it was the third or the fourth class, I was like, I'm gonna go off on this lady and I'm gonna rip her a new fucking asshole. And it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
And my reasoning was this: on the third day, I learned, not because I got a paper back that was an F, because I never got a paper that was lower than a B in that class, but that if you got an F or a D, she would take the paper you wrote and turned in and rip it in half before she gave it back to you.
Wow.
And I realized, I was like, I gotta go. I can't take this class because if I get one of those papers, I'm gonna rip her a new asshole the size of the Grand fucking Canyon. And there's no one and nothing that can stop me. And by the time I'm done, everybody in the building will have heard every single word of what I had to fucking say because I will be shouting. And I shout exceptionally loud. I shout loud enough that people in fights will stop fighting and grab their ears, and my own ears ring afterwards. Like, for minutes.
Nice.
So, like, imagine that for 10 minutes of, like, you disrespectful fucking cunt. Who the fuck do you think you
fucking
are?
Failure. You fucking failure of a fucking literature person, you. Fuck you.
It's just been so fucking mad. And I've been like, you grade my paper down to an F, that's fine, but you want to sit and rub my fucking nose in it like I'm your pet fucking dog, I'll rip your fucking arms off, you dumb fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you are? It would have been bad. It would not end well. I would no longer be allowed at that school. So I dropped that class because I was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna fucking rip this lady a new asshole.
I assume everybody would be
A
appreciative.
well-deserved
probably
new
not
asshole, by the way. You know, she fucking would have deserved it.
Yeah, no, she sounds awful, dude.
God, can you imagine that, dude?
That somebody didn't appreciate something that she loved, so she's gonna fucking go off and make you redo it? That's fucking insane.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had a science teacher who tried to impress upon us, who was like, hey, you know, keep in mind, most of these teachers are narcissistic twats, and all they want to hear is what they want you to say. They don't give a shit if you've actually learned anything. They just want you to parrot whatever silliness they think is important back at them. And she's like, I'm happy with anything, whether I think you're right or wrong. If you've made a reasonably well thought out argument, I will give you the same grade as if you agreed with what I say. and was true to her word, by the way.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty rare, especially in college.
And it was nice because you actually enjoy writing the paper because you get an opportunity to present a different point of view that maybe she's never heard before. And it feels kind of, like, feels kind of good. Like, oh, hey, she's going to read my paper and actually think about it. And
Yeah.
give me, whether or not I'm actually, am I putting in as much thought as I think about it? Am I really actually reasoning out my arguments well? Somebody who has a lot of experience could tell me. That's also another benefit of that. Because she hands it back and she's like, well, you're not agreeing with me, but, you didn't really put forth anything to really support any of your argument. That's an important thing that you should learn, Like, oh, okay, now I need to go back and find support for my argument. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, because if you're having to fucking figure out what the teacher wants to hear, and you have to fucking write something up on it, that's a fucking chore, dude. Like, that's a fucking pain in the ass. There's nothing fun about that at all. But yeah, if you get to just express your opinion,
express your own opinion and say, like, and this is why I think this, and yeah, it's pretty fucking nice.
Yeah, a much more pleasant experience for sure.
Oh, somewhere somebody is missing a pair of pants. Oh, I gotta find them. Oh, I did make sure to turn off nudity, so there's no, like, vagina or dong hanging out in the wind.
I like the one guy you came across there, fucking all women, all naked.
Yeah, that shit was funny. They had some fucking weird armor that was clearly meant for, like, adolescents to enjoy, because it exposed almost the entire breast, but put, like, a little tiny pasty over the nipple. So they weren't quite naked, and then they were wearing like a jeweled thong skirt thingy that barely covered their ass, So it was kind of like,
yeah, might as well be naked.
Might as well be. Oh, here we go. I found the pantsless one. There we go. Oh, they added. What is it? So there was this thing I saw just recently. It was a YouTube short I put in, like this morning, and it was in Chicago. They're basically begging the gang members to stop shooting during normal business hours.
They're asking them politely.
Please. No bullshit. They legitimately are saying, like, hey, do you guys think you could stop shooting for like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.? Would that be cool? So we can do our jobs and the kids can go to school and then you can have all the shootouts you want later at night. Like, that's literally, that's how fucking pathetic Chicago has gotten. Like, how fucking ridiculous. Dude, like, fucking arrest people and put them in prison. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. Dear gang members, can you please restrict your robbing and killing to off-peak hours? Thank you.
Fucking hilarious. It is literally, that is literally the premise of several 80s and 90s post-apocalyptic fucking films. There are like multiple 80s and 90s films where there's like an agreement made between the gangs and the fucking people that run the place, where they'll let everything go about during the day, so that they have to essentially, so that there's stuff for them to steal like at night, so that people can safely go about doing their jobs and making stuff so that they have things to fucking rob.
So yeah, if you get caught outside after 2 hours, you're on your own.
Exactly, the police won't help you. I mean, it's like there was the thing in like was it RoboCop 2? I think it was. If I remember correctly, that was the thing in RoboCop 2, That was one of the agreements in Double Dragon, which was a shitty martial arts, throwaway movie from the fucking 80s.
Oh, based on the video game, I assume?
Very loosely. I mean, there wasn't a lot of lore in the video game. It was the most generic martial arts tale ever. It was like, ooh, your parents, were destined to find this medallion and they gave it to you and you're the double dragon and you'll unlock its power, but the evil guy wants to steal it and take over the world.
All right. Yeah, I think in the game it's just like somebody snagged your girlfriend, some guy, and you got to kill all his fucking henchmen.
Yeah,
so,
in the
not
game,
much
exactly
more.
In the game, that's exactly what it is. Yep. So, yeah, that whole thing is just kind of
game
silly.
was a lot of fun.
Oh
I
the
love
game
Double
is
Dragon
a great game. Absolutely.
I remember. I played through that one on the emulator. I'm sure. I miss the emulator, man. That thing was fucking awesome. The arcade, the MAME or whatever.
Oh yeah.
MAME, Multi Arcade Machine Emulator. So yeah, basically, I think it was something like any game that was at least a certain amount of years old, they would emulate. So if there was any new video games that arcade games, do they even make new arcade games anymore? I can't imagine they do. But anyways, any of the old arcade games you could fucking find and play it, dude. It was fucking amazing. It still exists, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can find Dungeons and Dragons. You could probably play it on the internet now, because it's such an old game and it's so small that, like, legitimately, you can.
So it's such little memory. Yeah.
And it doesn't take up a lot of
basic
space.
Graphics. But yeah, any of those old games. I'm trying to think of some of the ones. Mr. Do, I played a lot. The off-road, the racing truck game. UN Squadron was kind of a rare one, but I like that one. That was a fun little game. Fuck. Or obviously shit like Pac-Man or any of that kind of shit too, but yeah. Any arcade game I could think of, dude, I would look it up and somebody had made a fucking ROM of it and play on the arcade machine emulator. Dude, they fucking sold, like, people came up with, like, controller boards for it, with, like, the joysticks and the buttons and everything. Like, people got really into that shit.
That one guy fucking, what do you call it, cheated with, right?
Oh, yeah. Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell, cheateroni. We should be careful. We've said his name. If we say it too many times, we get sued, right? I mean...
Yeah. Well, from now on, we'll refer to him like the regular episode as Garrett Bobby Ferguson. The guy with the gigantic head and a tiny body.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shit. Did I tell you about that? He actually tried to sue, like, Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and I've also watched those videos. That was an entertaining set of videos. Like, there's a couple of people you've posted videos about him, and I've also just seen them pop up in my feed naturally because it just sort of, like, became a thing recently. Like, people are, like, talking about it more.
Yeah, because I think Moist Critical or Charlie talked about it a couple of times. And it's been talked about by a lot of people. Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts.
Oh, I got it wrong.
But yeah, just the fact that in the fucking decision, the judge actually puts in the character in the show not only did not have the same name, but he was a gigantic floating head with a tiny body. And the plaintiff is not a gigantic head with a tiny body. Like, that was in the decision, dude. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that dude was a fucking loony. But whatever, man. Like, he cheated on a thing. He got caught. I don't know why he's trying. I guess he. I mean, at this point, like, who would believe him? Like, I don't understand what his goal is anymore. Like, what are you trying to fucking prove at this point?
Well, he's trying to silence people.
Oh, so that they
he's trying
can't
to
call him out on it publicly, so that.
Yeah, like
Oh,
even
okay,
though
that
it's a
makes sense.
bullshit lawsuit, even though it's a bullshit lawsuit, it still fucking
Costs you
has its
money.
day in court. You got to pay for a lawyer and shit. Yeah, yeah. So he's trying to silence people that way. Yeah, because apparently he's still got a fucking video on, and there was the Carl Jobst guy. I think he's like Australian. He's the one that Billy Mitchell is suing. And apparently, I thought that one was dismissed, but it was another lawsuit. So that one's still going on. But Billy Mitchell, like within the last couple weeks, had apparently been at some convention just spouting his fucking bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah.
and trying to berate people for donating to the other guys, to the guy he's suing, like berating people by the fact that they donated to his GoFundMe for his legal defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of gaslighty bullshit going on with that guy.
Yeah, that whole thing was that whole situation is nutty as fuck.
Yeah, you gotta try to find that because it's so goddamn, dude. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I'll find it.
That was one of those things
why?
that, like, they made a movie where they kind of referenced that with Adam Sandler fighting aliens that were like fucking.
Yeah, like they thought, like the video games were like what
A challenge or
was
something.
there something on the planet? They came down to attack. Yeah,
That was a fun
very
movie.
bizarre.
And at the end, one of the guys ends up like with one of the alien ladies. This is his wife or something. Like she turns into one of those typical video game characters, and she wants to date this fat, sweaty, ugly dude. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen it. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually saw the movie.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. It's
Is it
well,
Pixels?
I mean,
Is that the one?
yeah, Pixels.
Oh, there we go. All right, I think I just finally posted
Oh,
it.
these guys are above level 10. They've earned names.
Yeah, but yeah, this is the most recent one where it shows Billy Mitchell gaslighting fucking rant. That's whatever fucking convention still is inviting him, despite the fact that it's again it's been
like
proven
a chubby
that he
Harry
cheated.
Potter in there.
Yeah, but yeah, there was some other. It wasn't apparently it wasn't against this Carl Jobs guy, but one other one where the lawyer's like interviewing him, and Billy Mitchell is answering the questions and doesn't realize that there's a picture of him at the convention with the other guy that's his fucking alleged witness or whatever. There's a picture of both of them in front of the arcade cabinet, the Donkey Kong cabinet, showing the red ball on top of the at the top of the controller, which means it's not an original controller. It's an 8-way instead of a 4-way controller. So he's like asking him, okay, so if it was like a green one, then that wouldn't be original, right? Okay, yeah, okay. So it works up to so if it was a red one, it wouldn't be, right? And he finally he gets him to say it, and then they drop the picture. So yeah, it's funny because the lawyer's just chomping at the bit to get to the actual red fucking top controller or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But he's like slowly working to it. It's pretty fucking funny to listen to.
Yeah, that was
like,
really
I
interesting. How
I
the
would
lawyer
never play
was,
one that
like,
didn't have a black.
so careful to like not ruin their chances of letting him burn himself by just really just edging around that question, and it was like,
Yeah,
I kind of dig that.
Yeah, because literally at some point, Billy Mitchell, without really being asked that specifically, is like, "No, I would never have played on one that wasn't a black top. The button, the ball on top of the controller wasn't black."
Yeah,
And
he really
obviously
fucked himself.
unaware. Yeah, completely unaware that there's a picture of him standing next to him at that convention or whatever, with that red ball on top of the controller right next to him.
I will drink your blood.
Oh man, yeah, and he posted those pictures, which is the best part. So
yeah, and then obviously forgot all about it.
He can't complain that like, well, somebody photoshopped. Nah, dude, you put those out there, bitch. Like, you done fucked yourself, bro.
He should really give up on the mullet too. He's got an odd-shaped head.
Yeah, the mullet is disconcerting in its own way. Like, kind of like, dude, really?
Plus a little bit of a receding
hairstyles.
too.
You're that old. You got a full head of hair, and you went with a fucking mullet.
He looks like a Neanderthal, dude. Like he seems like I have an extra brow ridge there a little bit and a big ass forehead. But yeah, I just posted the picture of him, the red joystick, red top, red ball joystick, clearly in view.
God damn.
Oh, I would never play on that machine. No. Yeah. Although, yeah, maybe it's a choice. He knows he has the oddest shaped head ever. It's like all fucking. It's very tall and very skinny. It's like a watermelon head.
He does not look like an intelligent person.
No. But yeah, that's essentially, again, it's obviously not confirmed, but I can't imagine any other reason why he would be suing these people other than to try to bankrupt them into silence. Like, yeah, well, you're not going to be able to put up a legal defense.
Or intimidate them.
So.
I don't know if he's trying to bankrupt them, but like intimidation is definitely a factor.
Well, initially, yeah, I mean, continuing with it, initially it's intimidation, and then he's like, all right, well, I'm going to take you to court and sue you, and you're going to have to fucking pay a shitload of money, even though this is obviously bullshit.
Yeah, I fucking hate those people.
Yeah, it's a pretty disgusting fucking way to go about things. Yeah, but luckily, yeah, Carl Jobs is fairly popular, and people are behind his cause, so they contributed plenty of money to his fucking GoFundMe for the legal battle.
Good lord. Yeah, well, didn't the guy say there's like people who legitimately make like full-on videos calling out everybody as liars and thieves and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a big part of what Carl Jobs does, is a lot of shit about speedrun. Not just the negative, not just the cheaters, but the people that actually do it legitimately is a big part of what he covers. His world records, speed runs, both cheaters and, again, legitimate people legitimately achieving them. I think one of his recent videos was about a guy that did it. It was a fucking charity event, right?
Oh, and
so the guy goes to
cheated
one
in the
thing.
charity event?
Yeah, he had basically pre-recorded a playthrough, chopped up. So it was different playthroughs of his to make it, the fastest time ever by a pretty decent amount. But again, it was for charity. It was fucking weird. And dude, this is what's great about the internet and the collective autism of the internet. Basically, there was one point in the game where when he's playing through, there should be a thing that pops up saying like checkpoint reached, like just a quick flash of checkpoint reached, that only occurs the first time you play through it. So if you had reloaded it or done anything like that, if it doesn't pop up, then you're obviously not on your first playthrough. Does that make sense? Did I explain that properly?
Makes sense. There's a way to verify, like, this is a first playthrough or not a first playthrough.
Yeah, and one guy noticed, like, hey, there should have been a pop-up for a checkpoint there, and there wasn't. So this is not a live playthrough. And again, for a charity event, like, why, dude?
Yeah, why are you cheating for a charity event? That's really sad.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the main thing. He had, like, or one other longer playthrough that they were all trying, a bunch of dudes were trying to do the world records or whatever. Just do speedruns in general. And it was like after he had finished that one, he's like, "Oh, well, I guess I can do this one. It doesn't take too long." And then just plays, obviously plays the film and pretends that he's playing. And then one time he literally lifts up the wrong hand, and then like Ket realizes he did it because he's using the keyboard. He's supposed to be using the keyboard, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I had to switch hands there for a second." Like tried to cover himself for that too. It's like, all right, buddy, good try.
Yeah, I don't understand, but whatever, I don't understand why people cheat in regular video games when they're not, getting some sort of reward for it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a psychopathic, narcissistic mindset where they cheat, but they still somehow
only possible outcome. What's the fun?
Yeah. Well, again, it's a mindset. If you don't possess the mindset, you're not going to understand it. Because again, if I'm doing that, I don't feel good about it. You know what I mean? I know I didn't accomplish anything. But again, if you're a fucking narcissist or borderline or whatever the fuck,
I think I would actually feel bad about that. If it was against other people, deep down, I would feel like I'm fucking giant pile of shit.
Yeah. Again, most normal people would. That's why we don't generally cheat, dude. But yeah, again, those type of people believe their own bullshit.
Oh, yeah, there are people that believe their own lies. It gets real fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a big part of being of an NPD or BD. Because, again, it's one thing that I didn't understand about my ex. I thought she knew she was full of shit and just refused to fucking cop to it. And then, my doctor had explained to me about narcissistic or borderline and that kind of shit. And they're like, no, they believe it. They believe the bullshit. They convince themselves of the bullshit. And I'm like, dude, that's a hard fucking thing to understand, dude. Without, again, well, yeah, obviously they don't understand either. Because they fucking keep doing it. But yeah, it's a hard mindset to empathize with. You know what I mean? Where you just believe your own bullshit despite all evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what was I was reading this or listening to a Reddit thing, and this lady was lying about her resume. Like, I did all this and this and the other thing and blah, 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 and I'm so good at what I do, and this company gave me all this money, and the guy's like, I know you're lying, and she flips out and starts screaming at the guy.
Wow.
And it's like,
holy fuck.
And it's like, but you got called out on lying, and then when she's like, how the fuck would you know? He's like, because I worked there during that time as the person who was in charge of that department, and you didn't work for me. And then she just kept going and started screaming and yelling how he was gaslighting her and all sorts of other shit, and you're like, alright, whatever,
Yeah. No, I guarantee, I would suspect that she thought he was lying. Even then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In her mind,
he was lying. She did it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they can be so fucking angry still. Yeah, you're fucking pointing out their delusion, and they can't accept that. They're incredibly fragile. Because again, it's a deep insecurity that causes that kind of fucking personality disorder. Or sorry, that's what is deep behind it. So they can't acknowledge any failures.
Did I tell you about the fucking the lady that I work with? They brought in a new lady after they fired the old lady, and she has less to do. Yet, what was it? The week you came over, the last night I was there, she was fully flat out asleep in the staff bed when I got there. So I passed that on. So let the manager know, she was asleep. She's still there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. We
fucking
need people,
bullshit.
but not that bad. You should have fired that bitch.
But no, you fired the bitch that was doing the fucking job well, going above and beyond.
Yep. Well, apparently, according to some of the other people there, she was late a lot. So I don't know how justified
yeah.
that is. So I always leave room for being wrong. I only heard her side of the story. So who knows? Maybe she's one of those people that is just very convincing at making that shit up.
Mm. Yeah. Although you said she did catch up on a bunch of
I do know she caught up on the
right?
paperwork and shit. I do know that part. So like that aspect, I do know. She was doing a lot of work.
Mm.
But she was showing up and put in overtime when she shouldn't have been, or doing less time than she should have been, kind of thing,
Mm. Yeah. Either way, she was definitely getting shit done when she was there, it sounds like. Yeah.
So I will leave room for me to be wrong on that one. So I suspect they fired her more because they didn't like her, and she made them look bad more than anything else. Right. That's a good excuse, but at the same time, she was doing manager's job and not being paid for it, and she should have been talking to the labor board the whole time she was there and been like, yo, if you want me to do this and this and this, you gotta pay me the right wage. Because there's the labor laws where, like, if you're doing a higher paid position's job, like responsibilities, they have to pay you that higher paid position. Like, they can't just, like...
Yeah.
You can't be like, you're gonna run the manager's, responsibilities and we're gonna pay you like a regular employee. Like, that doesn't work.
Understandable. But no, good thing they kept the bitch that shows up on time and is asleep by the time her shift is over.
Yeah.
Keep that bitch.
Yeah, I blows my mind. That one blew my mind just because I was like, why would we want to keep her? Like, she's still in her fucking, what do you call that? Where there's no real worries about getting rid of the person, probationary period.
Yeah, the probationary period.
You don't have to, like, you don't have to have a reason to fire them. And it's like, that's what you do when somebody's falling asleep in the middle of their work because they're a fucking junkie. She's a fucking junkie. I can fucking smell it. I've worked with them for 20 fucking years almost. Because there's a difference between somebody who does drugs and can still work and, do all their responsibilities, or, somebody who can't. And then there's also a difference between people who used to do drugs and don't do them anymore. And she just is one of those people that she's still using. And it's definitely not like smoking weed and drinking beer. She just has that, like, dried out sort of meth thing going.
Gotcha. Oh, there's a bitch that works at the fuel center at the grocery store I go to. And I look at her and I'm like, alright, she's not fat anymore, but she's definitely got or she's not thin anymore. She's definitely got the look of a bitch that was a meth addict who's now like a benzo or an opiate addict.
Ooh, yeah.
So her skin's all fucked up like she did a bunch of meth. And then stopped doing it and then got hooked on painkillers or something.
Snaking a kill out from under somebody right now. I saw them in the chat earlier talking about being in the unnamed city and they were killing the red dragon. They're done. I'm killing it now. And I'm gonna set my timer so they never kill it again.
But yeah, that bitch I was talking about, like, they're supposed to be open till 10 and she regularly thing down to like 8:30.
Oh, really? I actually wrote a fucking complaint to a corporate place once. because of that kind of shit. It was, I didn't realize it at the time, but the business was going out of business. It was a Radio Shack.
Oh, all right.
And so, I got there at like 7 o'clock and the place closed at like 9:30 or something. And these assholes that work there just decided to shut everything down and lock the doors and hang out with their, with a bunch of beers, hanging out and just drinking on the clock.
Wow.
Well, and like I said, I didn't realize they were, fucking basically just had given up.
Business.
Yeah. But that explains it. If your employees are closing your business, an hour and a half before, that actually explains a fucking lot.
Yeah. No, because there's one chick that works there, actually younger. I'll go at like 9:30, and the place is still open, and I'll tell her, I'm like, "Why are you working since you're still open?"
Oh,
because I asked him, I'm like, "Dude, are you guys allowed to close early?" You're like, "Yeah, if it's not busy." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll come here at like 8:30. There's like 6 pumps being operated, at least 6 to 8 pumps are being used, and I guarantee at least a few of those would probably be buying other shit."
Well,
you know what I mean?
How much you want to bet? I'd lay even money on this, that not all the money finds its way into the register too.
Yeah. Cash is being paid, that kind of shit.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised at all. And also, I think they just fucking hang out in their car, because I've seen the bitch after it's closed around 8:30 or whatever, and I've seen her in the fucking store at like almost 10 o'clock.
Y'all will have your soul.
So I'm like pretty sure she just fucking goes and fucking sits in her car or something, or whatever she does, and it stays on the clock the whole fucking time.
Oh yeah, I remember when I worked at a gas station. That was a shitty job, man. They didn't want you to do it. They didn't want you to do nothing, but at a certain point, like, all your shit's done. Like there's only so much busy work you can fucking do, and one of the things was, you get out, you mop the floors, especially for the graveyard shift. When I worked the graveyard, that was the worst. You get out, you mop the floors, you clean the whole coffee station, because it was like one of the few places to get coffee.
Like any time of night, day or night.
That
or
wasn't like total garbage, but wasn't like Starbucks expensive, and it was 24/7. So, like, we would get cab drivers, truckers, bikers, cops.
Yeah.
All the people you would expect
all the late night folk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
all the graveyard folk, and they were great. They were fun people. I loved working with those people. But like that's who we would get all the time, is those people who were like, "Oh, this is a good quality cup of coffee," because we had maybe 12 different pots that we would have going at any given time. So there'd be your your typical French roast, your typical like Italian roast, and your dark roast, but then there'd be like cinnamon or a hazelnut or a fucking vanilla latte coffee. It was kind of nice coffee for, $2 for a cup.
Yeah.
And we had all the different flavored creamers, and then they could get an 89-cent refill all day. So they could spend $2 to get a big old cup of coffee, and then come back in like halfway through their day, get another cup for the 89 cents. If they were cops, we gave them coffee for free. And then depending on what kind of cops they were is whether they would take that. So like,
some of them can't, kind of thing.
So there was a contract between the local city police department and the gas station. So the local police all got their gas at our gas station, which was awesome because I was never concerned about getting robbed, because there were cops in and out of that place all the fucking time. Like, you'd have to be really fucking stupid to rob that place. But you know, with the cop, you know, that didn't mean people wouldn't try necessarily. Now I think of that, but when I was younger, I just was like, you'd have to be an absolute retard to fucking rob here. It's like, oh yeah, you have to be kind of retarded to fucking rob gas stations in the first place.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't. That reminded me of a fucking. There's a clip of these guys that broke into some, and they have like a one driver. You know, got the getaway car up in front, and they do the smash and grab. The dude's bringing shit out and putting it on the hood of the car. And at a certain point, and I guess the other one would be putting it in the car or whatever. Well, at a certain point, the fucking dude sees a cop coming, the getaway driver, so he fucking takes off. The cop pulls up in the same exact where the car was that the getaway driver was driving, and the guy comes out like 2 or 3 times and puts shit on top of the fucking cop car's hood that he's stealing and doesn't realize it's the fucking cop car.
He keeps doing it? Oh,
yeah,
man.
dude.
That has to fucking hurt when you see that later as evidence in your fucking trial. You're like, there's my dumbass loading fucking stolen cigarettes into a cop car.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, it was just on the hood or whatever. I think the other person was supposed to be putting it into the car from there or something like that.
But
anyways, he was literally just placing the shit on the hood and going back in to get more shit, dude. Without realizing.
I wonder how much the cop enjoyed that. Like, how did he keep a straight face the second time?
Yeah, dude, I would literally be like, how take this fucking idiot? You know what I mean? I wouldn't even stop him until until I know what fucking just happened.
Yeah.
I want to see how long it takes this fucking dumbass to realize he's putting stolen property on the fucking hood of a cop car. But yeah, those world's dumbest criminals kind of things are pretty fucking funny.
Oh, those have always been great, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. There are a lot of dumb criminals out there.
It's like that dumb ways to die thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the Darwin Awards. Yeah, I think that was the original one, is the Darwin Awards.
Yes.
People that contribute to the quality of the gene pool by removing themselves from it. So the Darwin Awards.
Gotta appreciate that. We owe them a big thank you.
Like the guy that was like electrocuting the water to catch fish. But then went into the electrocuted water without any kind of.
That's
and obviously you get electrocuted to death.
Brilliant idea.
Oh fuck!
I'm gonna electrocute this water to kill the fish, and then I'm gonna swim in it.
Yeah,
Good plan.
Swim in the water that was just killing all these fish.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Why would I turn it off?
Speaking of dead fish, I happened to cross a video that's all the episodes of Family Guy for 2023 on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Was Seth MacFarlane ever funny? Because I was listening to the jokes in that one, and it kind of made me want to cry a little bit. Like, oh, this is a fucking tragedy. Like, this isn't funny at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new ones, but yeah, Family Guy was good for a long fucking time.
Man, Seth MacFarlane is
falling off.
Not funny anymore. It's
sucks.
just like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I have insider funny joke for Hollywood. Me funny, man.
That sucks. 'Cause no, that shit was really fucking funny for quite a while. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it was so dry you would choke on it. It wasn't funny at all. It was just like watching it like, oh, wow. What? Reese Witherspoon appeals to drunk middle-aged women. Ooh, you're pretty fucking risque. Like,
So it's basically now he's just making jokes for any of his Hollywood fucking buddies.
pretty much.
I don't care about making
much.
normal people laugh. I want to make sure the people that fucking I hang out with think I'm funny.
Exactly. It kind of had that feel of like shit that him and his friends were like having a giggle over. It's like, and now we're gonna make a Reese Witherspoon joke.
I will drink your blood.
Yeah.
And
Maybe that's
what
how
was
Matt
it,
and Trey
the
make
first
South Park so
episode?
good.
South Park is more topical by nature, and it's just better topical humor in general because they're not holding back. Like they're not on anybody's like side. They make fun of everybody.
They'll make fun of everybody. Yeah,
like they're gonna make fun of Biden. They're gonna make fun of Trump. You know, it's like it's not gonna be this like, oh, but this is the good guy or bad guy thing. They're like, look at all these fucking retarded, ridiculous motherfuckers out here.
Yeah, they're not going to make like a pro-Biden one.
Yeah.
You know, they're not likely to anyway.
I'd be shocked.
I will drink your blood.
If they did,
Yeah.
they'd probably allude to being forced to, like, the entire time. Or something. Be like, the CIA showed up and here's what they wrote.
So yeah, I guess staying on the outside of all this helping keep them fucking
Have your soul.
concentrating on just being funny and trashing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they write the episodes like in a very like they fucking it was something like they go away to some retreat somewhere and they just bang out the episodes in like a week's time or something.
Because it's one of those shows where it's like, it has an audience, so they don't want to stop doing it. And because they're cartoons, they don't have to worry about, like, you know, the actors getting too old or looking too beat up or anything. They can just be like, oh, whatever, it's just their voice, it doesn't matter. You know, that's like they still do The Simpsons.
I haven't seen a new episode of The Simpsons in fucking forever.
Don't
I really like the show. It's South Park too, actually, now that I think about it.
don't
watch a lot
waste
of
your
South
time on
Park.
The Simpsons.
Oh, that
It's
bad, huh?
sad now.
Yeah,
well,
that's
it's like
another
Seth
one.
MacFarlane stuff
Great.
is all sort of
Pretty
left-wing
funny.
comedy shit, and it's and Simpsons are too. And it's to that point where it's not really funny anymore. They're just trying to tell you whether or not you're a good person.
That sucks.
Yo,
Graining was a fucking.
maybe the specials might be different.
No, they're gross.
For The Simpsons, they're not good either.
There's no such thing as a good modern day Simpsons episode.
Yeah, I watched one episode and was like, oh wow, this is tragically awful.
It is.
So-
I thought Graining was a fucking right wing guy.
Yep.
It wasn't even like a political humor thing. It was just not fucking funny anymore.
He's probably not. He probably doesn't have anything to show at this point. Now that I think about it, I mean that shit's been on since I was like what, junior high school.
Matt
That's been a
Groening.
long fucking time.
Matt Groening. He's just trying not to get killed because, believe it or not, because you know the meme about how the Simpsons predicted everything and all that shit that was going on. Yeah, because that's been going on for quite a long time. A lot of things were kind of predicted, and turns out that from what I've heard and what I've seen, is that Matt Groening's actually, because his show is so fucking popular, that he actually has been rubbing elbows with some of the most popular elites, and he's actually a member of those Illuminati-ish kind of things. That's how he knows what's going to happen before it happens, because all this stuff has been plotted out for a long time. He's trying to warn people. He's been trying to warn people through The Simpsons in the whole thing about what to look out for. You could say now's a more important time than ever to be watching The Simpsons, because unfortunately he's been found out that he's letting people know what the plan is, because now that the meme's kind of in there, so now he's just sort of dodging not to get killed. But apparently, yeah, the episodes are bad on purpose because the people in charge are trying to ruin the show, tank it, so that way they shut it down. He's trying to be as or overt as much as ever about what's to come in the future. So you could say they're terrible episodes, but they're the most important episodes that you should be watching.
Yeah, if you want to know what's going to be happening soon, watch The Simpsons.
Well, and we don't know how soon. Okay, like is this the stuff that's going to happen in the next 5 years, months, years, decades, centuries? Because a lot of these people who are working behind the shadows have had a plan. They're going on for decades, and I think they had to advance some of their plans. But anyway, yeah, that's my tinfoil hat thing here. But yeah, Matt Groening, I think he's actually a good guy. He's trying to warn us all of shit to come. That's why The Simpsons keeps predicting everything.
Maybe.
Think?
Maybe indeed.
You never know. Yeah, the fucking craziest conspiracy theories in the past have not always turned out to be false, so some of them will fucking turn out to be accurate.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember granting, because like when the opening title sequence or whatever, when Marge is shopping, scan Maggie, when they scan the baby, what pops up on the thing for like a split second, apparently it says NRA forever, like NRA the number 4 ever.
Yeah.
So I would think he's a right-wing guy, although that could change. He's in Hollywood long enough.
I think he probably is. I think if he's trying to keep himself from getting killed, he's probably going to say all the crazy shit they want. They want to see him to say every leftist nonsense. And I think he would say that kind of stuff, mostly so that he doesn't get fucking killed.
Well, I mean, that's going to be anybody who doesn't want to die that's being threatened with death. To be fair.
Yeah, he's like, I want to enjoy the fucking ton of fucking money that I've made. I don't want to fucking get wiped out because
if I was in Matt Groening's place right now and I had literally he's got he's definitely got fuck you money, I'm sure at this point.
Yeah.
Where he could just live the rest of his life in complete comfort with no real worries that he's going to run out, unless he goes absolutely fucking nuts.
Well, see, I think he wants to stay in the public eye, mostly because let's say he decides to give up on The Simpsons, retire, do whatever. We're going to forget about him, and no one's going to be paying attention to what he does. And so, if someone wants to off you, now they know no one's looking. So he has a vested interest into not retiring. I think that's part of the reason why he still does The Simpsons. Why we just got the new Futurama.
I think if you were not in the public eye anymore, they would just not care.
No, they would care because then they have a reason to get you off. Because these people, they're very petty. All right, let's say even if you disappear or you're no longer relevant, doesn't matter. They're still going to get you because they're very petty. Look at all those people
who have very long memories.
Yeah, well, look at all the people. Look at all the people the Clintons have killed. A lot of them, they went out of the public eye. They weren't a thing anymore. They still got killed. Still get killed, and that's just how it works. So, yeah. Speaking of people I always wondered was going to get killed, I just posted a link for apparently Mr. Manicur's coming back. I thought he was dead.
Again?
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
Oh.
He kept saying how the
He survived.
Maybe
He survived his fake internet cancer.
Maybe.
Shocking.
So anyway,
I would question the veracity of his supposed issues at that point.
It's odd how it coincided with him being right after him going all crazy about how the sky is falling with the COVID shit, and then he suddenly realized how wrong he was, and fake internet cancer disappeared for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, that's such a fucking disappointment, dude.
What? The guy didn't die of cancer? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about him. It turns out he's just as petty and fucking childish as anyone else, but he acts like he isn't.
Yeah, well, he's on the internet. I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yep. The internet does not breed the most rational of people.
Yeah. No. Yeah, anyone who's popular, you kind of have to assume they're a fucking scumbag, and you're going to be a right majority of the time.
I like to assume everybody's a scumbag. They're all scum.
I mean, that is a sensible way to go about things. But at the same time, you sound like a fucking old man. He's like, everything's shit. Nothing's good.
Well,
Get off my lawn.
It's like the yeah. There's definitely a lesser of two evils when you're looking at like the parties at this point. At least in the U.S. I don't know about other places, but they're all still pretty fucking corrupt. You know what I mean? Like, they're all still all shitty people. Yeah. Trump may be the better choice right now for president, but that doesn't mean Trump is an awesome person, like...
Yeah.
Well, in the way of trust, he's the only one that anyone trusts. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm pretty sure he's going to get killed.
I don't think he's going to make it out of prison.
I don't think he's going to live. Not like...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go as smoothly as the Epstein cover-up, though.
Oh, no, if they actually kill Trump, that might be a civil war.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, there's too many people that fucking fanatical about him to not let that go.
That's why I'm like, he has to win. I mean, if he doesn't win, it's going to be utter chaos. Like, he has to win.
Really. Like, I don't know if you heard this talking about Chicago. But,
no, but I hear people talking about Chicago. What's going on?
So in Chicago right now, they're basically doing a thing where the people who run Chicago are essentially begging the gangbangers to do ceasefires from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day.
I will drink your blood.
Yeah, they're asking very nicely, very polite.
About how I responded. Like, you guys are out of your fucking minds.
To restrict their gangbanging to off-peak hours.
Yeah, like, you could just not shoot and murder each other for a little while.
Yes, can we just go back? Pretty please stop killing each other so we can get on with our days?
Yeah, they literally, that's literally it. We want to be, like, our kids to go to school, and we want to be able to go to work and do our jobs and all that kind of stuff is essentially what they're saying. They're like, we understand that you guys need to, like, fucking murder each other like a bunch of fucking savage animals, but, if you could just keep that between these two periods of time, we'd really appreciate it, thanks.
Yeah, they're not even saying don't do it. They're just saying, wait till the fucking sun goes down.
Yeah, I mean, how fucking ridiculous.
Fucking have at it.
Instead of, I don't know, arresting people and putting them in prison. Like saying, you know what, this person isn't ready to be in society yet. They're not capable of handling it. So we're taking them out of society for right now.
That would just make sense. I don't, like, obviously, like, this is all being done for causing mayhem, because everyone wants to cause mayhem for some reason. Because it's happening fucking everywhere. You wouldn't, if there's a violent person on the streets, and you take them off the streets, you don't let them out the next day. Why would you do that? In fact, it's so bad in my city, a guy was arrested and then he was released the next day, but at least the police warned the general public that this guy's getting released. At least they warned him.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting us know.
Well, the whole no bail thing is fucking ridiculous. So, like, that's racist or whatever. Poor black people or whatever, poor minorities can't post bail. And then they get guys that are committing like 50, 60 fucking times, getting arrested 50, 60 times. And just keep getting let back out because there's no bail set for them.
I know I've quoted it before, but like 80% of the shoplifting in San Francisco was like 14 people.
Yeah, 14 people doing a vast
majority of the crime.
Obviously very organized.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very, very clearly it's organized. Very clearly they're stealing to resell. It's not like they're stealing for like their baby's food or something silly shit like that.
Yeah, they tend to steal non-perishable shit.
Yeah, you know what I've never seen? I've never seen people stealing just basic food and stuff to survive off of. Like, working at a gas station and working at a grocery store for a little while when I was younger. Never once saw anybody stealing anything that just was like a normal thing you would need to survive.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
It was
you're not
never
trying to
like
steal,
peanut
loaf of
butter,
bread
jelly, and bread.
Feast upon
It was,
you.
whiskey and Marlboro Reds, or fucking filet mignon, like the best steak you can get. Like, it was like, come on, man. These people are not stealing because they need it.
Yeah. You remember when cigarettes used to not be behind the?
Yeah, I remember when we'd go to Costco and they'd just be like, the cigarettes would just be hanging out at the
Yeah, right up the register.
right. It was like a big it was like a at Costco. It was a big
like a pallet of them.
no, it was a room. There was like a little room you could go into, and you would just pick whatever kind you wanted because they had a whole fucking ton of cigarettes. And you would go in there and grab like however many cartons you wanted. They were just like on shelves. And anybody could just walk in there because in order to be a Costco member, you had to be 18.
So yeah.
So it was like, so if you're in the Costco, you're legally able to buy cigarettes. They didn't give a shit.
Interesting.
Sounds like a time that never existed. I don't believe this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, like, there was multiple times when I was younger that my dad took me to the bar with him. And, like, I would get a Shirley Temple, and I would go sit and play on the fucking Pac-Man game in the corner for, a couple of, an hour or two while he hung out with his buddies and drinking. I imagine that ended about when I was old enough to tell my mom where he was taking me, no doubt.
Jesus, dude. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, but I remember I'd literally, I'd get to sit up at the bar and be like, I'd like a Shirley Temple, or I'd get a Roy Rogers, one or the other, because they're like the ones with 7-Up and ones with Coke.
Right,
and they'd let me choose one, and I'd get that one, and they'd be like, all right, here you go, son. And then I'd drink it, and my dad would be like, well, don't drink it so fast. We can't afford to buy a bunch of them while he's just guzzling down fucking beers.
Right.
Guzzling beers.
At least give me quarters for like video games or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'd get like a buck worth of quarters or something like that, and that was supposed to last me for like a couple of hours on Pac-Man when I'm like fucking kindergarten aged.
Yeah, especially since arcade games were essentially just to eat fucking quarters.
Exactly, yeah, they weren't meant to be the games that you played well and like...
Yeah, they weren't designed to be able to beat them on 1 quarter. That's for goddamn sure.
And you certainly weren't supposed to spend like a really long time playing them,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very entertaining.
It's great.
Indeed.
I know I got a bunch of other stuff on the Discord. Because there's a whole lot of shit on there. I don't know if anybody watched the video I posted with the guy that got arrested for an IDAS sticker.
Oh, I saw it, but I didn't watch it, dude.
So yeah,
like a trucker, like a semi, semi truck driver.
He's just regular truck, just regular pickup, regular dude.
Oh, okay.
So he's just driving like a Ford or a Chevy or something. I don't remember what kind of truck it was, but it was just like your typical normal truck. And there was a sticker on the back window that just said "I eat ass" across it, and it was fucking hilarious. And
think of the children.
The fucking guy pulled him over, first of all, based on some bullshit that's totally unconstitutional. And then wrote him a summons, which was bad enough, right? But then, what is it? He wouldn't erase the.
He wouldn't take it off.
He wouldn't take a letter off. The guy wanted him to scratch a letter of his sticker off. After he wrote him the summons to go to court to deal with the supposed charge that was, supposedly legitimate. And it was silly. And so the cop just got mad and then decided to arrest him, and they took him to jail. And all the charges were dropped. The judge deemed them to be, in fact, this is free speech. You can put an IE sticker on your car if you want. Florida doesn't get to decide that you're just not allowed to because they find it to be obscene. So fucking what? It's the First Amendment.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Florida's actually pretty decent when it comes to that
sadly,
kind of
he
shit.
couldn't bust the cops for false arrest and false imprisonment because qualified indemnity qualified immunity. So cops essentially are like almost unsuable in most cases. It's pretty tough unless they really, really fuck up to get an actual lawsuit against the police that's going to work.
Yeah, that's fucking good. Yeah, in a situation like that, dude, like, the cops, I mean, that's pretty fucking far out of line, dude. You know, that seems like a First Amendment violation, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the cop just decided to wipe his ass with the fucking amendment.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like what the guy had on his car, so he decided to make some shit up. But there's decency laws in a lot of states, so Florida's certainly not the only one that has that.
Right.
You know, like that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, it's fucking yeesh.
Because what is it? There's places where they've arrested people for saying like the wrong words. Like, you can't say "fuck you" to the cop. That's illegal. Blah blah blah. We're gonna arrest you for that.
Oh, right.
So there's places where they've done that, and it's if it goes to what do you call it? I can't think of the words now. If it goes to the Supreme Court, it gets dismissed inevitably.
Yeah, but it's just a big waste of time and money.
Yeah, in the meantime,
no, most people don't have the money.
Yeah, or the time. Yeah.
It's an unfortunate reality. Is 99.9% of the people that get fined for that and charged for that can say, "Hey, First Amendment," all they want, but the judge is going to say, "Well, it's the law. You don't get to decide what the law is. Who do you think you are to challenge the law?" Because that's how they make their fucking money. It's by stealing yours.
Mm-hmm.
I am the law. Well, one of the greatest movies of all time, Judge Dredd.
Well,
yeah, that one seemed to get a lot of shit, and it wasn't fucking horrible.
Which one?
Yeah, the Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fucking silly.
Yeah, well, of course it is. It's Judge Dredd, but it's a fucking great movie. Well, great movies. See, like, there's the two of them. We have the one there with, what was that guy's name? The actor. Guy from Rocky. Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. So we had Stallone there playing Judge Dredd. He did an okay job. But then you had the other one, the one that came out in like 2011. That one was really good.
2011.
Yeah, who was in that?
What was his name?
Not Stallone, I'm guessing.
No, it wasn't him.
Chris something or Curtis Underwood or something like that. Carl Urban, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he loves Dredd. He's read the comics, he's read the books, he really likes it, so he was very happy to get the role. So I thought, oh, okay, good for him. You know what? Good to see someone who's passionate about a project get in there. And of course, like, it didn't do that well, and then he was pushing for a long time to try and get, another movie made or a series or something, and it just never really happened.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Hollywood doesn't really want to do R-rated content anymore, and I wish they would. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, did you ever watch the Peacemaker show?
Yes, I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was an excellent show, definitely R-rated. Like, there's some fucked up stuff in there.
Yeah,
but, it was just like, man, that's the kind of shit that people want to see now. Look at, like, Deadpool, because, the G-rated shit is okay for little kids. You know, that's Disney's purview. But it's sort of taken over now because everybody's so afraid of offending everybody. You know, so it's kind of to that point. I think is what's going on is people are like, well, you know, we could do this R-rated thing, but then this person and this person, you know, this group and that group are going to whine about it on Twitter and blah blah blah.
The other thing is also that they want to appeal to China, and China doesn't like R-rated stuff because they're of the mindset that all entertainment has to be family friendly.
Yeah, or black people.
Unless it's designed to be a military propaganda piece, in which case you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
They even get
China that they. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought, man.
I was just gonna say they even got Hollywood actors to be in their propaganda movies. The guy who played you probably don't remember the guy Crossbones from was it the Avengers Civil War or something? Like he was actually the bad guy American in the last Chinese action movie that they made.
Oh wow!
Go figure.
I'm sure they threw a shitload of cash at him.
Yeah, well, or maybe I don't know. A lot of actors don't make as much money as you think they do. A lot of them they tend to make in residuals. Like, don't be surprised if you find out like a big name actor only made like $5,000 on like some big hit Marvel movie, and that's because he gets residuals from like every DVD that's sold or every toy that gets sold because he uses likeness, so he gets some of that. That's where the real money comes in for them. Like, you'd be surprised a lot.
Go ahead, sorry, I keep doing it. Sorry.
No. I paused it a bit.
Yeah, it's like the really big headliners, like your Mark Ruffalo and your what's his name, the guy that plays Hawkeye. Those are the guys that are probably bringing in a couple mil. You know, like them and like the guy that plays Iron Man. I can't remember his name offhand. Robert Downey Jr. They make a few million, but then like the guy that plays like who's the black guy that was taken over for
Falcon?
The Falcon guy. Like that guy probably didn't make as much as anywhere near like what those guys are making. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ben Affleck back in the day.
Ben Affleck was real big money for a while.
Yeah, well, basically what he would do is he would kind of like going into a movie if it was one that was make a lot of money or not, or kind of gamble on it. So like when he plays Daredevil, he would take a little bit, like not as much money up front, but get a big cut of the residuals and all that shit. And then when he make a shitty movie that he didn't think was going to do well, take more money and not worry about the residuals because he didn't think there'd be as much. And he was usually pretty good at figuring that out.
Oh, making a good guess.
So like for Daredevil, he made he made way more money.
Be the one to go with.
Yeah, by taking less money and getting more of the residuals, he made way more money than if he would have gotten just what a standard salary would be with standard residuals.
By the way, before I forget, and I'm going to get slightly nerdy here, and I am actually excited more for Deadpool movie when I found this out. Apparently, a lot more actors and stuff from previous Marvel movies are actually going to come back for Deadpool 3. Apparently, Ben Affleck's Daredevil is going to be in there, not just Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I thought, oh, that's sweet. And then some of the old actors who played in the old X-Men movies. I can't remember any of those actors' names because I don't know them from anything. Like the old Cyclops and all that. Apparently, they're all coming back. And not only are they coming back, like the old Jean Grey, but also the actress who plays the Scarlet Witch. Apparently, they're going to have like a big face-off or something. I thought this is sounding better and better. I mean, I think I don't know. It's probably still going to be a mediocre movie. I'm still going to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Ryan Reynolds a lot, dude. So
I do.
Hopefully, it'll turn out okay.
It's hard to say because it's Marvel. Or it's Disney Marvel. I mean, if they got good people in the creative seat, maybe. I don't think that they do. I think they got bad people, and I think it's going to hurt the overall product. But anyway, that's just my.
Apparently, they had to stop because, apparently, ad-libbing counts as writing. so they can't do any ad-libbing if they're gonna film shit.
Which is like 90% of Deadpool, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
it's not gonna work. It's not Deadpool
Yeah,
if
it would be
there's not
pretty
like.
ridiculous if you can bother.
Yeah, it's just not gonna work. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the first. Well, as far as the comic book things, I think Deadpool was the first R-rated one. It kind of opened the door for like Logan to be made. Like, I don't think Logan gets made if Deadpool doesn't do well.
There were a series of R-rated Marvel comics called Marvel Map, and a lot of those were original characters, but they were R-rated ones. One of which was, of course, Jessica Jones, which was a Netflix series that they made. But yeah, she was part of that R-rated kind of thing, and she had been.
That was good for like one season.
Yeah, the first season was really good of Jessica Jones.
That was such a
And then the
sad
second one was like, eh.
series after like season 1. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, see, I don't know why or what it is. I actually never seen it. Never actually watched it.
Yeah, well, if you do, yeah. Season 1, I feel, is worth it.
Yeah, the Purple
It's
Man
up to
is
you
a
whether you
very
want to bother
interesting villain to fucking deal with because people have to do whatever he says.
Yeah, yeah. And it's played by David Tennant, dude. Fucking the best Doctor Who ever. In my
Well, I
opinion.
never watched Doctor Who, never had any interest in that at all. And,
I never did really either. But I've watched a lot of the Tennant
but he's
ones.
a very
I like those
interesting.
ones.
He's a very good actor. He's very fun to watch. So I will give him that. I've never seen Doctor Who though.
Yeah, I came to it very late for sure. It was basically like friends of mine whose opinions I respected. I'm like, oh, is Doctor Who actually good? All right, I'll check it out.
I've never watched Doctor
yeah,
Who, so.
Yeah, the David Tennant ones are really. Actually, the Matt Smith ones are okay. I really haven't watched a lot of the Capaldi ones. I don't really like, and they're all right. But
See,
yeah, I think those are really the only 3 I've seen. I skipped Jodie Whittaker, like everyone else did. The female Doctor.
See, everyone accuses me of being a Doctor Who fan or being a closeted one, mostly because they ask me about what my cat's name is. And my cat's name is Hugh, but I always say I wanted to call him Who. And they said, oh, because you're a Doctor Who fan. Oh, he's a great cat, too. Oh, yeah, that could work out. And I always have to explain, no. The reason why I wanted to call him Who is because my other cat, who was older at the time, his name was Boo. And I thought, Boo, who? Oh, okay. But when I got him, my mom got very mad at me. She said, I'm not going to be the old lady going boo-hoo, boo-hoo when I'm calling the cats in. So, like, you will change the name. I was like, oh, fine. You can just call him Kitty. No, okay. Fine.
She could be calling Who Boo. Who Boo, Who Boo.
Boo Hugh. Still kind of sounds the same, I guess.
Boo
So,
And as a kid, you had to get that dick moment of, all right, well he'll be named Hugh instead of Who.
Yep. Well, if you're a kid, you're an asshole. So
Yep.
Anyway,
Nothing wrong with that.
I will drink your
so that's my little Doctor Who story.
Yoink.
Yeah. I've never actually, like I said, never watched Doctor Who. No interest. I don't care how many cute girls come up to me and say, "Oh, you gotta be a fan."
I will feast upon you.
That shit.
Yeah. Well, if you ever do, just check out the David Tennant ones. If you're not into those, you're probably not going to like it.
Ooh, it's like I like anime, but I don't want to watch Attack on Titan. And no one can handle that for some reason.
It's our modern day Grave of the Fireflies. And no one's going to understand that reference. I'm old. Oh my god.
Talking about like from the show Firefly?
No, it's an anime. It was like one. It was like considered like the saddest anime of all time from Studio Ghibli, called Grave of the Fireflies. It's about like I think was it World War One or World War Two when Japan was attacked or bombed.
Oh, it's that kind of
World
anime.
War Two.
Your heart
Yeah, okay, World War Two.
Yeah, you
Sorry,
mean the
I'm not.
atomic bombs? Yeah, it's World
Yeah,
War Two.
yeah, it's about these two kids, an older brother and his little sister, and parents that get killed and they have to survive on their own, and yeah, it gets kind of sad.
Little
So,
depression going there.
yeah,
Depression is the fun part.
that's the key to know if something is good. Is it depressing? Then it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, that's how you get an Oscar.
The more you cry, the better it is.
That's right. Your tears fuel me. That's how award show work.
You know, it's probably how Hollywood works. They're just run by tears.
Yeah, the whole thing. Whole thing. Look at that Oprah bit.
Man, they gotta do those like, I feel like there's some parody songs about Biden that need to be made.
Which one? There's lots of them.
Really, I did not know that. I was just one that mocks him for the whole pedophile thing.
Oh God, they're
Like bathing with his daughter, and she's like in her teens and shit, making her
just
take a shower with him and shit.
look up Let's Go Brandon and look it up on like iTunes or Spotify or whatever. There's tons of songs about Joe Biden.
Oh, nice.
I would imagine they're not probably going to get pushed by any algorithms, so you probably have to actually seek them out.
Well, yeah, you have to actually physically type it up. But yeah, no, there's lots of songs out there. This is definitely not a very well liked guy. Lots of songs.
How much money do you think they must be throwing YouTube to keep that shit from going viral?
They're doing what they can. They can only get away with it for so long because it's like look at that guy Richmond north of Richmond. That song is fucking huge. It resonates.
Oh, the one they
well.
tried to go after and call racist because it showed people committing crimes?
No, not that one. No, it's that guy singing a country song on his land.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, give it a shot, see how it works out for you if you bring that shit to the fucking countryside.
No, not that one. No. Richard.
Oh, okay.
The guy with the red hair, the big beard. He's got a couple of dogs running in the background. It's just him standing there, playing on his guitar, singing his song. You don't know Richmond north of Richmond.
I remember seeing something recently about it, like he was mad about certain people using his song for something.
No,
that's all I know about it.
It was recently on Joe Rogan. Hold on, let me get the music video. It's literally the most popular song. It's literally the most popular song in the world.
Okay, is it country?
Yeah, it's a country song. We'll figure it out.
Okay, well that would explain. That would explain why I hadn't heard it.
There you go. I put in your Oliver Anthony. I gotta go feed my cat. I'll be right back.
What are you feeding your cat to?
Gotta go feed his cat to his python. Anaconda. Oh wait,
don't want
forget,
none unless you got buns, hon.
You forgot about the Samaj Sholo, dude. When he's going anywhere, no matter what he says,
he's masturbating.
He's masturbating. Yeah. So now it's feeding the cat.
Yeah, really.
You gotta go feed the cat.
Yeah, what are you feeding the cat? It's your penis?
Yeah.
Is that what you're feeding the cat? I keep seeing
the cat
these
is what
people
I call
who are
the,
so fucking abusive to their cats. And
The
it's
cat
like,
is it's what I call the tissue, and by feeding the cat, I mean I'm ejaculating its tissue. There we go.
there
Solved.
was
Go ahead. Sorry.
there's this weird thing I keep seeing on like people talking about how they like take their cats for a walk and shit, and like so that they get some time outside. And I'm like, if you're not just letting your cat out, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
cats
they
are
have
not
a cat like on a
indoor
leash.
pets. Yeah, like they're supposed to be able to go run around outside on their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really unhealthy
Yeah,
for
walking
them
them
to
seems
just
kind of cruel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, that's normal for a dog. You know what I mean? Like, they're used to fucking.
Yeah, well,
you know.
dogs are not as smart as when it comes to, like, not dying.
Right,
Like, they'll
right.
run out in front of
Yeah.
shit that the cat won't.
Yeah. Yeah. Run into traffic, that kind of shit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a coward.
Yeah. 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 Or I don't even know if it's intelligence, the obsession they have with whatever they're chasing.
Yeah.
Because I've
And,
noticed
like-
with my dog, you know, my grandpuppy's super smart, but when he's chasing he has guard, whatever lies immediately beyond wherever the ball is, and he doesn't fucking stopping until he's got the ball. And a vast majority of the time, his reflexes are such that he manages to stop before he
Yeah.
goes plowing into a wall or something. But again, it's his reflexes that save him. It's not his recognizing that right beyond where the ball is a fucking big ass wall.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, cats are definitely more cognizant of what's around them when they're chasing shit.
Yes. Well, cats don't have particularly good vision. Like, they can see the movement and stuff, but especially, like, up close, not the greatest of vision. That's why they got that whole whisker setup going.
I will feast
Yeah, well, dogs aren't either. I mean,
Dogs have better vision than cats when it comes to, like, distance.
oh yeah, yeah. But still, when they get close to shit, they're usually off smell. Like you throw something, and if it's not visible anymore, run in that general direction and track it down, like smelling it.
feast upon you.
Like you were throwing it into like fucking a bunch of weeds or a bunch of tall grass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll see where it went and head in that general direction and sniff it out with their nose.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
think cats have better night vision because like I leave the lights off in my room all the time. My grandpuppy has a tough time seeing the ball when it's all dark in here.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, cats definitely much better night vision. I think the common house cat was meant to essentially be like an arboreal, like hunter, so they would need pretty good night vision.
Yeah.
Oh, we need some advantage to kill those fucking mice.
Yeah. Although mice are not hard to kill. They're not the fucking brightest. You ever see some of the
No,
traps
but-
that people have used to catch mice throughout the fucking centuries?
Yeah, but they're a nuisance, and there's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're to get like a
Yeah, they survive on bulk by having gigantic litters of children.
Rats are interesting. Like apparently, I remember like seeing studies and all that about rats and how apparently like if you were to take a rat and put him through like a maze or something and like starve him for a bit, like be on the brink of death, like just starving. But if you put him into a room where there's food, but then there's another rat in like a cage or something, then the starving rat will go free the other rat before it would get the food. I thought that was a very strange behavior. You think it would just go eat and then let out the other rat, like for competition's sake. But no, they help each other out, and I thought that's an interesting behavior.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, dude.
Yeah.
I never heard that. I was just thinking of the Mouse Utopia or all the different universes. Like, fuck, I forget who it was, but like he was creating all these different like little enclosed areas, and he was setting up different conditions basically for a bunch of different mice. and like one of them was basically plenty of space and fucking all the food you could possibly need. And those ones essentially ended up devolving and fucking to where they're all just constantly like preening and fucking and fucking and preening and fucking not taking care of the kids. So basically, like, you know, like the mom's trying to take care of the kids, but one of the male mice are in there constantly bothering them to fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like TikTok.
So like a bunch of the kids end up dying. Yeah,
it's like if TikTok told you how to like be a person. That's what happened to the rats. It was like the rats found TikTok.
I get you. Yeah. But yeah, so basically when all their needs are met, they degenerate into, again, degeneracy.
Yeah, look at like the TikTok thoughts and stuff like that, the OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
And
yeah, dude, that whole...
women right now, sadly.
That fucking, that NPC thing, Jesus Christ, that was fucking annoying, dude.
Is that still a thing? God. Or is that
I don't think so. I think it died off pretty quickly. I hope. I haven't really followed it, but
what's happened is that the guys have started getting in on that, and it's
that's
yeah,
that's a thing that they should really be proud of.
I made the mistake of looking up because somebody was saying something about that pink whatever her name was, the first one, the main one that started it. Talking about how fucking gross her tits were, and I fucking gave in and looked it up, and god damn, those are the nastiest looking tits. Fucking huge nipples, big ass nipples, and like raised up, like pretty far off. It looked like like she had like a peppermint patty sitting on the top of each of her tits.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was really fucking gross.
Do you think they taste like chocolate?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, it was fucking. It was a really disgusting set of nipples. I'm like, wow. Fucking, I guess there's guys into anything you can think of.
There's Here,
let me post it in the Discord.
There was a cosplay kid who got taken advantage of by an older guy, and like her parents were just dumb as shit. And let her fucking date this guy and let him move in and shit. Like I think he was in his almost 30 when she was 16 or something. And she's just been like on TikTok doing cosplay since she was 14. They used her in their ads or something like that, and now she's finally moved to OnlyFans, and now she's getting her tits out and everything. But the thing that gets me is like now she's like really fucking fat all of a sudden. Like she put on like 80-90 pounds easily. She's not really that attractive anymore, but I guess people were just so into it because she was, you know, younger when she started doing this stuff. So it's kind of creepier that people are into her now. It's like she's kind of nasty looking, and let's be honest, you're into it because it's legal, and it wasn't legal like, you know, 5 years ago or whatever when she was like 14. So yeah, it's people they'll pay good money for anything. Like she's bought a house.
Well, at least she could get one.
Yeah, bought a house. She's only been doing like Patreon and OnlyFans for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
This is why I wish maybe I could run for Congress. I want to run for Congress. I want to make it illegal to collect money over the internet unless there's some sort of goods or services that are actually exchanged.
Well, they are exchanging
naked
services.
Pictures and videos are not services.
It's art. How dare you?
Oh yeah, it's fucking art.
See, I was thinking like, well, how would one try and save humanity, make sure stop us from the self-destructive path that we're on, and the only thing I could really come up with, which isn't going to happen, but it's something that kind of occurred to me. Maybe make it illegal for women to work.
Like at all?
Like at all. And
I could see making like things like OnlyFans and porn illegal. That would actually be, I think, at least somewhat beneficial. Like, but working all together, I don't know about that.
see, the reason why it's part of the thing is that no one's like people are just not having sex. Like all the women are having sex with like the hot guys, and so one guy or a handful of guys are getting all the women, and they're not committing to any of them. And so a lot of, and if they get pregnant, they're having they're having the kids out of wedlock, and it's like
Yeah, and then all the other people are basically screwed because they're paying all this money, extra money in taxes for fucking kids they don't have.
Nope. So what's going to end up happening, and not to mention like our birth rates are just plummeting. If we make it illegal for women to work, and even vote for them, I probably would take that away too. But if you make it illegal for them to that, how are women going to survive? They'll be forced to find a man. And if they start going together, they live together, is that we have someone to support you, then the guys would be an incentive for the men to be more likely to work, and women will be more wanting to keep the relationship going because they'll have very few options, and then they'll have to live together. They'll probably have to have sex. Probably going to have a greater population.
I don't know though. There's some fields where women excel in work though.
Maybe, but I mean, like
like elder care, nursing, child care stuff, like in like daycare centers and whatnot. So and I don't know that's something you want to completely eliminate.
I wouldn't eliminate that. I would say just that would be open volunteer, and to take care of the elderly and all that kind of stuff. Because let's put it to you this way: if all your needs are being met by your husbands, then essentially, what else are you going to do with your time? And we encourage them to take on volunteer work.
I will drink your blood.
And then they can take the moral high ground and say, I help the elderly. And then because a lot of things with women is a lot of like morality and all that kind of stuff, mostly so they can prop themselves up and say, look how good I am, look how great I am. Well, it gives them that opportunity.
I think that if you did that, they'd just sit at home and watch stuff on their phones.
And probably try to cheat too. That's another thing. But
yeah, I don't think if you take away jobs that it would work out quite the way you're hoping.
Well, it's not going out any other way. So I'm just saying, like, there's no incentive for women to find husbands and start families and stuff. If we give them an incentive, then they can have something to go for.
There's a really easy incentive. We won't pay you for your kid.
I mean, you can try that too. I don't know, man. It sounds
like we won't pay you for your kid if you keep having them, we'll sterilize you if you don't have a husband.
Oh, that wouldn't go well at all. That would be like eugenics and stuff. You'd be seen as Hitler. It ain't gonna work.
I'm okay with that.
If you force them to get a job, or not to get a job, but get a husband, I think that will probably have a better yield.
They also had workhouses back in the Victorian era. For people that didn't work, they could go to workhouses if they didn't have the money to support themselves, and they would be forced to work.
Mm-hmm. You can try that too.
Yeah, I'm not against forced labor for people that are popping out bunches and bunches of kids and not able to support them. It's like, you know what? We need those bus stops cleaned.
I saw that you shared that. I wish you didn't share that, but I see it.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking. They're like the tits are too small to have like the areolas or whatever. It's fucking gross.
Oh, right? That's the pink sauce lady.
No, Pinky Doll. No, Pinky Doll is her name. She's the first one that blew up for doing the NPC. Like,
why are they so lopsided?
It's fucking weird, dude. They're just fucking gross, right? They're tiny, but then they have they're huge nipples. Tell me it doesn't look like she's using peppermint patties for pasties. I chose that mostly for alliteration, but doesn't it? They're fucking huge and they're raised up.
It looks bizarre, but it's also like totally two different sizes.
Yeah, the one on the fucking right is way smaller. Although I think the areola might be the size on both somehow.
Yeah, like her tits are both completely different sizes, and then on top of that, you've got the whole different sized areolas and nipples and everything.
Yeah, and dude, it's raised up. Like the areola area is like raised up. That's why I say it looks like a peppermint patty. You can't really tell from this picture necessarily, but yeah, it's fucking gross.
It's weird looking at the very least.
Oh shit! Did I scare some eyes away? Fuck, man. He just muted muted his
Oh, okay, yeah.
headphones. My apologies. I went too far, I guess.
Yeah, that is a gnarly pic. Yeah. That is a weird one. Alright, what else is up here?
But yeah, she's got an OnlyFans, so there's dudes paying to see that. Sorry, I just felt someone else had to suffer.
Everybody fucking has an OnlyFans. It's ridiculous.
Dude, I was watching a fucking video. There was a video about some dude that was apparently like the German Christian or something, like some dude that everybody just fucks with online. That dude has an OnlyFans. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is
not weird at all.
Yeah, I wish it was weird, I guess.
It's not weird at all. Everybody's got OnlyFans now, apparently. Why don't we get OnlyFans going?
Yeah, there's got to be a few chicks that are into fucking overweight dudes in their 40s.
I like that you think we'd be selling stuff to women. That's funny.
There's got to be women and gay men.
Gay men would be the primary audience we would be selling to if we were. That's who's gonna pay the money. When all you have to do is walk into a bar, walk up to whatever guy you think is decent, and be like, "You'll do," and odds are you're walking out of there with that guy that night to go fuck.
Yeah, it must be great. Yeah, it must be great being a fucking gay dude. Because, yeah, dudes are like, yeah, hey, you want to... Sure, let's do it. Why not?
Well, you know what's interesting is talking about, like, the dating and then the weird stuff going on with that. Like, high school kids are way more conservative now.
Oh, wow.
Like, they're just getting super, like, uber conservative. Like they're almost more trad than like your typical Christians. Oh, I heard the silliest conspiracy bullshit now from the left. Have you heard the whole myth of the Dominion Christian cult or whatever?
No.
Oh, supposedly like 70% of all Christians are Dominion Christians. And they're trying to bring about the end of times to destroy the world.
Will have your soul.
Oh, it's like apocalyptic.
Yeah, like they're trying to bring on the end times or something, and that's why everything is going wrong. It's these, these evil Christians, like you fucking retards. Like that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, which those obviously do exist. I'm certain.
I wouldn't.
But I can't imagine.
There's probably a very small group of people that fit into that category, and 90% of those people would be Islam.
Yeah. As far as Christians, it's not even 6%.
That's literally part of the Islamic standard belief system.
That the apocalypse is coming any minute now?
No, that you're supposed to bring it about so that you can get to God faster.
Oh, okay. Alright. I was unaware of that.
Yeah, no, that's part of Islam is they genuinely want to end the world.
Kick off the end times as soon as possible.
It's supposed to be beneficial for them in the afterlife.
Oh yeah, they get all their virgins and everything, so.
That's one of the things I never hear pointed out. Like the oddness of a belief structure where your reward in the afterlife is something that would be absolutely prohibited in regular life.
They gotta figure out a way to subvert their actual survival instinct,
Yeah, I guess. So, if you don't do this now, you can do it for eternity, kind of thing.
Well, I think they're trying to implement that whole reward system. It's sort of like I can give you $1 today, But if you wait till tomorrow, it'll give you 2. So it's like if you reward waiting. So
Yeah, I don't know. It seems odd that it's a sin. It could have been sinful. But then that's the reward. Just a fucking. I get kind of what's behind it, but it seems very fucking strange to me.
well, belief is always a little bit on the strange side. I personally, I think that society and individuals, by and large, need to believe something crazy. You need a little bit of insanity in your life, and that way it sort of centers you for the rest of the day. Otherwise, you feel a little bit more anxiety and stuff. So I think just believe in one thing that's crazy, and then just get on with everything else. But I think if that one crazy thing shapes the rest of your day or makes things unplausible, like or unhealthy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't eat pork. Well, that probably made sense at one point.
Counterproductive.
Like or like don't eat shellfish. I mean, that kind of makes sense because a lot of people had allergies. So like a lot of these things are just sort of like just designed as a belief system. Not
like,
belief system.
how do we
like
get people to stop doing this and dying? All right, there's an invisible man who lives in the clouds who doesn't like it when you do that, and he'll hurt you.
Yeah, like again, pork apparently would go bad pretty quickly, and people were dying.
Yeah, so
until they figured out how to do salt pork, that was like, eating rotten meat and stuff.
Yeah, so I think some of this stuff comes from a good place, and it's like, that would make a lot of sense for that time. So, same thing
with refrigeration and preservation techniques.
Exactly.
Pork's fine.
But then I'll listen to things like, oh good lord, I fucked up. Anyway, where was I going with this? Somethings are okay. Like I think a lot. Oh yeah, with a lot of religion, I think a lot of it's metaphor, and I don't think a lot of it should be taken as literal. It's the ones who say like, you should take this literally. It's like that's stupid. That's clearly stupid. Like I think in Islam they have this thing about how Muhammad rode a winged horse and split the moon in half. It's like that's clearly insanity. That's not true, and anyone can look at that and you know that's not true.
You don't think he split the moon in half?
No. Fucking apostate. Oh no, you'd have to be Muslim first. Never mind.
I can't imagine why you wouldn't think like the fact that the moon is up there and clearly visible from like anywhere on the planet. And it's clearly not broken in half. Like I can't imagine why you would think that would mean that Muhammad couldn't have done it. That's so silly.
Yeah, well, absolutely. He's Muhammad. He probably fixed it too.
But you know what? I
came on it and fucking glued it back together with the menstrual blood of his like 12-year-old fucking mistress or whatever.
I think that the part of the reason why they make that claim is because when you look at the moon, it's in the exact same location it is every single time you see it. You never see it rotate, and that's because it doesn't rotate. We don't know what's on the dark side of the moon. We have no idea. No, we've never sent a drone up there, even though we've sent plenty of rovers. We have no footage. You can't attach a light.
We've got pictures of it now.
No, we don't.
I was going to say the moon.
It's not the dark side. It's the far side. It gets just as much sunlight as the rest.
Yeah, no, but what I'm talking about is the dark side. Like, look, we have all this satellites. You mean to tell me we can't have one rotate around the moon and find it? We have things that can what was it? Yeah, ultraviolet light. Not ultraviolet. Those things that you see things at night. We have all this technology, and yet we can't get a picture from the dark side of the moon. Really?
Well, the moon does in fact rotate. It just rotates and revolves around the Earth at the exact same rate, so the same face is always facing the sun, facing the Earth.
Yeah,
but that's not what
there is no dark side.
No, that's not what NASA says.
The far side of the moon gets just as much sunlight as the other side that we.
Oh, I don't know what NASA says. I'm just saying the way it works is it rotates and revolves at the same rate of speed, so that it's always the same side facing the Earth.
It's tidal.
No, that's not what that's clearly not what they say. They say it literally it does rotate, yes, but it rotates so slowly it could take a lifetime before it goes through even the semblance of a rotation. It barely rotates. That's
What
the
does
problem.
NASA say? What?
It rotates it's rotates as much as ours does. That's why it says tidal-wise. It rotates exactly as much as ours does.
If it did, we would have a picture of the other side of the moon at some point. We've never gotten the picture from the other side. We only
Are you
get from one
fucking
side.
serious?
Yeah, go look it up. And while you look it up,
No, I've seen the pictures before.
okay, yeah, but while you look it up, I'm actually gonna go. So I have to go check out the Maker thing. You can disprove me next time. All right, I'll be. Or I might come back later. Yeah. Okay.
All right, man.
Sorry. Too quick on the go there. Okay. Bye. All right.
Did he leave and come back to leave again?
Yeah, I think he hit it twice.
Oh,
I think he tapped it twice.
The medical thing. I don't think he was understanding what he meant by rotating and revolving at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know where he's getting his info from. That's odd.
Yeah. I mean, well, I could see NASA making some weird shit up. Like, that's not beyond the realm
Didn't China
of
just land something on the far side of the moon?
I don't know. I know they've explored the far side of the moon because it's like once you're on it, it's not that big.
Yeah, I mean, again, when we went to the moon, there was a guy that stayed up there and kept rotating around the whole fucking thing.
Well, no,
he wasn't above the same spot.
No. So the same spot that when you look up and you see the moon, you're always seeing the same part of the moon. Because as the moon rotates, it's going around the Earth at the exact right pace.
Yeah.
So that it's always
you don't have to explain that to me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to explain that to me.
So he wouldn't, if you stayed in the same spot on the moon, you wouldn't slowly rotate into the backside of the moon.
If you're rotating around the moon, you wouldn't?
If you were in orbit around the moon, but if you landed on the moon and stayed
that's
on
what
one
I'm saying.
side.
There was 3 guys that went to the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went down to the surface. Michael Collins stayed up in the air, circling the moon.
Then he would go around. Yes, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
He was in orbit around the moon. I thought you were talking about a guy who stayed on the moon and like it rotated with him on it. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
No, I am well aware. I don't know if you heard earlier.
That makes perfect sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard earlier when I was talking about how the far side of the moon gets just as much sunlight. But I get it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not Samaj. That was bizarre, dude.
Well, because you're right. Man. We do have video and pictures of the dark side of the moon. It's not like some sort of mysterious thing that we don't understand.
I think doesn't Google actually have something that is constantly mapping the entire moon? Doesn't Google have a satellite up there? Hold on, I just looked up Google Moon. Hold on. Google Moon. No, not Moon. Moon.
Moon.
All right.
The moon.
Hold on, Google Moon. Let's see. I don't want to, we might have to work up to it with Samaj. I don't want to hit him with too much, there's definitely something that's, Google has something that's mapping the moon. Yeah, they have Google Earth, they have Google Moon now, too.
Oh, nice.
But I don't have to tell you on it. You are aware that we do have pictures of the far side of the moon.
Yeah, I've seen them. I was just not gonna get involved in that argument. I was like, this seems pointless.
Well, I didn't want him to keep thinking that. He's gonna keep saying that to people and sounding, misinformed. If I'm gonna use a generous term.
Yeah.
I had never heard anybody.
But that's like
say
the people
honestly.
that think we faked the moon landings.
Oh, okay. Oh, is he one of those?
I don't know if he is or isn't, but I mean, it's just silly. Okay. Like, we've landed there 5 other times now, and like,
yeah.
At this point, the conspiracy would have to be so monumentally huge that I can't imagine how you could possibly keep people from
figuring
it out. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, it would have to be on the level of ancient Rome never existing, and it's all made up.
Yeah.
Like, well, actually, more than that, really. But yeah,
The ancient Rome, that's funny. That was fucking funny just because it's like,
dude,
you can
she's
see
so
the
smart, dude. It's
ruins. Like, you
amazing.
can literally see what's left of the fucking civilization of Rome.
Well, she's claiming that Latin is made up. Anything that you
Yeah,
see and
oh, yeah,
anything
yeah,
that's
yeah.
found.
All the language is made up and everything. I've forgotten how bad it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything. She's
Yeah,
like,
we've
no,
talked about that
when
before.
you,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah. She's like, look what happens when you turn it upside down and flip it to the other side. It looks Greek now, and it says, and like what it says is nonsensical.
Yeah, it didn't actually
Like it's
say
some,
anything.
you know what I mean? What she thinks it actually says is nonsensical. Like it's just four made up words or four random words basically that are allegedly in Greek. Yeah, that
Supposedly.
bitch is nuts. And again, like I said, I picked that short just to give you a really good idea. I really illustrate exactly how fucking smug that bitch is. When like people giving her evidence, and she's like, "Oh, honey, oh, sweetie." She's like, "Oh, the science does agree with me." Like that kind of fucking attitude.
Well,
Like very condescending.
it's easy to fall into those kind of traps when you're in the position that she's in, where like, more or less you're just constantly given positive feedback. You know what I mean? Like there's so many dudes that are like, "Oh no, you're right. God, you're so hot and beautiful and correct."
I don't know if that's true with that particular woman.
There's a bunch of fucking dudes on the internet that are
there can't be a
fucking
lot.
blowing smoke up her ass.
I guess she's not really hot, but whatever. That's the internet.
It's
Never
like
mind.
when I'm
Never
on
mind.
VR chat,
I forgot.
right? I'm on VR chat all the
Right.
time. If you sound like a girl, there's gonna be like 5 dudes in every room that are gonna try to hit on you.
Gotcha.
And like there are dudes who literally make, or at least they don't now, but there was like a couple of different YouTube channels where the guy, the whole basis of his content was he would sound like a girl and let these fucking losers hit on him all this time, and then start talking like a dude to fuck with them,
That's fucking awesome, dude. I approve. Yeah, the hitting on people online just immediately is. Oh my god, it's a girl! I gotta hit her. I gotta hit on her.
In the public rooms, it'd be like that. It's one of the reasons why the karaoke group got so big. It's the dudes that are chill and aren't like trying to hit on everybody they meet, or like already have a girlfriend or whatever.
Will have your soul.
Wanted a place to hang out where they didn't have to like deal with these guys trying to like fucking hit on their girlfriend if she signed on to join him for something.
Gotcha.
And then just chicks that don't want to get fucking constantly hit on all the time. Like they want to.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, because again, guys aren't going to be like, because they're not in the same personal space or physical space, so they're going to be rude as fuck and keep hitting on her. I'm guessing.
Yep. And
okay.
like one of the things
Makes
I've
sense.
noticed is like that's usually who we have to kick out of events is people that decide to get like really inappropriately sexual with the way they're talking to everybody, specifically because they're trying to hit on some girl. Like they'll be like, and it'll be like, "Yo, baby, you sound great. You'd sound better with my dick in your mouth." Haha, just kidding.
God damn.
And you're like,
Oh wow.
dude, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you? Get the fuck out of here, you asshole. Like, that's exactly, and you just throw them out because you're like, all right, you fucking scummy fucking weirdo. Like, let's go. Get the fuck, you're gone. We're gonna ban you now. Oh, somebody's knocking my door. Hold on.
Almost dinner time.
It's like you're a prophet.
Well, it's almost 6, so I figure
Yeah.
it's like
It's about
5:57.
time.
So,
I'm not in a hurry though. Like I'm still
yeah.
doing stuff on my computer
Yeah.
game and whatnot.
Yeah. Plus, we haven't done a show for like 2 weeks. We can go a little long.
Yeah. I figure we
Why
got a
not?
few minutes to wind down for sure.
Yeah.
Talk about how the moon landing was fake and nobody knows what's on the dark side of the moon.
So you feel like I should have just let that go? I should not have called him on it?
No, I don't have a problem with that. No, I'm the last person that comes to be concerned.
Yeah, you
about
just didn't
conflict.
want to. Yeah, you just didn't want to bother with it.
I just
basically.
didn't. I don't have like anything to hand to like prove differently. So it'd be kind of like a waste of my time. Like I don't agree, but like unless I have some sort of evidence to show him offhand, like right there, it seems like.
Yeah, well, he was. Well, he also thought that was literally the dark side of the moon, and that it never got sunlight. And that's obviously
That's only true
not
if
true.
you think it was like direct sunlight. You know what I mean? Like it's never
What?
gotten direct sunlight, but it gets light. It's not like it's actually dark.
What?
I said
No.
there is part of the moon.
The whole
that's-
moon.
Yeah.
The whole moon gets
is
sunlight, dude.
okay.
Direct sunlight.
No. The whole moon does it? Oh yeah, because as the Earth
Yeah.
revolves around the sun, yeah. So eventually it would all get.
Yeah. The entire moon gets sunlight at some point.
Yeah, because
It's all-
with the solar eclipse, that's when the sun is shining on the other side of the moon.
Yeah.
I never
Well, you
considered
just have to
that. I
imagine
never
the Earth.
considered the Earth rotating around the sun would actually mean that the moon would get light around it on all sides.
Yeah, that's
depending on
daylight
where
and
we were.
night. Yeah, it's the same, dude. Yeah. No, all parts of the moon, or whatever, all of it gets sunlight.
Yeah, you
Right?
can literally go to Wikipedia
Educational
and see
show.
pictures of the far side of the moon.
Yeah, I thought so, dude. Yeah. I knew there were pictures. I just wasn't sure exactly where to go. I thought Google Moon was a thing. It is.
Whatever.
Although one of them
it's
said, like,
it's not that big a
Apollo.
deal. I mean, we'll,
Yeah. But I just don't want, I didn't want him to keep going through the rest of his life
we'll see.
thinking that. And you either.
No,
Now you know.
Now I know.
Now you realize. Yeah, now you realize. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that you don't put much thought into, and then you do, and you're like, you know what I mean? Everybody has those kind of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I knew
You're like,
I knew
okay,
there wasn't
clearly
like
I didn't-
an actual dark side of the moon. Like I knew it got light. Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
some weird pitch dark
Yeah.
dimensional hole or something.
Yeah. Just imagine where the sun is, and how the Earth and Moon rotate around each other. Yeah.
And then they both rotate around the sun, which means that they're getting light depending upon
Yeah.
what time of year it is.
Yeah. So
what
obviously
spot
there's
in
going
the
to be
rotation
points.
are.
Yeah, when the sun is on the moon is on the sun side, and
Well,
not
the
the
real
other
question
side.
is there any patch of the moon or whatever that just through some weird trick of all the different speeds and variations on rotations and revolutions and all that kind of stuff actually doesn't ever get direct sunlight? Like, is it, like maybe like a patch the size of a quarter or something?
Maybe one of the poles, or somewhere around one of the poles. I don't think so, though. I think over the different, where you're at in the rotation, because they're slightly tilted. The Earth is slightly tilted or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It'd be interesting to find out if that was like a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's likely. I
Maybe
just think
one of the big craters. Might be some crater spots like close to the poles.
Yeah, I just it'd be
There's
interesting
got
to
to be some
find
crater
out.
spots. Yeah, I
If
can see a
somebody's
spot
done
in like
the
one of the
math.
craters on one pole or the other. Because they're obviously deeper than, not flat or whatever.
Oh man, yeah, that was a weird one to hear though. You're like, wait a minute, what do you mean Dark Side of the Moon's never been seen? Like, what? would you say that?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah, I was gonna say, even when the astronauts go there, they don't fucking do a direct shot, boom, and land on the fucking moon like a missile. They rotate,
yeah. They
slow
gotta
down.
go around the moon a couple times. Yeah. They get themselves into the gravity of the moon and rotate. Yeah.
I'm gonna resist the urge to post a bunch of moon photos and keep tagging him. I'm gonna not do that.
Gonna post a bunch of Pink Floyd songs from that fucking album.
Oh fuck. Oh dude, I was watching one of the what the fuck? I think it was the guy that's tied up with the Daily Dose of Internet guy, but apparently some dude had like a big chunk of meteorite that he was using, or meteor, that he was using as a fucking doorstop.
Oh, that turned out to be like a big diamond or something?
Yeah, no, it was a meteor, but it was a good chunk, a big chunk. He was using it as a doorstop because they're super heavy because it's mostly iron.
Yeah.
Apparently, the rough estimate of the value of the chunk of meteorite that he was using as a doorstop was about $100,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking sweet.
Meteors, especially a big chunk. It's like little flakes are probably still decent value.
I was thinking of
like
a different story with the diamond. Never mind. There was a dude who found like a big rock and was like, had kept it for like a long time, and then like it turned out to be one of the biggest diamonds the world's ever seen, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of gemstones, like when you find them, if you don't know what gemstones look like, they don't look. They're not all polished and fucking faceted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't look like rubies in the natural state. Don't look like a ruby in a ring.
Yeah, they're cut up. They're fucking polished, and all that shit. So yeah, you can definitely see that happening. It's like it looks like a dirty piece of glass or something. It turns out to be a fucking gigantic diamond. That's
yeah. Oh,
amazing.
this was like it was millions of dollars diamond. It was much bigger. It was about the size of a watermelon.
God damn, in one piece? Yeah, that's fucking...
Yeah, it was one big
super
fucking
valuable.
diamond geode kind of thing or whatever, and it was, he ended up, I guess he lost his business or something, and was like, oh, I'm fucking destitute, and all I got is my fucking house and this rock. And then somebody, looked at the rock, because there was some sort of picture online, and was like, dude, that's a fucking diamond, bro.
Yeah, some geologist or somebody who knows
and
something about
somehow or
geology.
another it came to light before he got rid of the rock that it was a big diamond, and he sold it for millions of dollars and fucking got his business and his life back.
He's probably lucky, dude. That guy could have been a fucking asshole and be like, hey, I'll give you like $30 for the rock.
Yeah, right? Like that could have been like Bill
100.
Gates.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
I'll fucking give you a few $100 for that operating system that I've realized is going to be worth millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, no, I really like the look of that rock for some reason. I'll give you like $500 and it seems like you need it. And turn around and sell it for fucking millions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Bill Gates way.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really
Or
liking
even the
these
fucking,
new
like,
pants.
Yeah, he did the same thing with the mouse, right? Didn't he buy that technology super cheap and fucking...
I don't know, but do you know the story of solitaire? On
Solitaire?
Windows? Yeah. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was written.
Kind
it
of.
was made
Go ahead.
by an intern. The guy that actually made Solitaire for Windows. It was all made by an intern, and he just thought it would be a fun way to encourage people to learn how to use DOS. To get into it and open it up and play it.
Right.
And he sat down and he coded and wrote the whole thing. They took it from him because he was an intern, and they had signed the fucking intellectual property rights thing in the contract, and he never got a penny out of that. Not so much as a fucking dime.
God damn, that's evil. Like, dude, why can't you at least give him like a one-time chunk of money, dude?
Be like, holy shit, we're gonna use this. Here's $1,000 bonus.
Yeah, it's something, man. Jesus.
Something they've probably made, hundreds of thousands of dollars on. Because now they advertise on it.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, I tried to play
that's
solitaire at work on the computer a couple times, and there's commercials.
No shit. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while, so.
You literally, I don't know if it's on everybody's computer, but it's certainly on the one where I work at. Yeah. And it's commercials.
I'm sure it is.
It's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah. No, I'm sure at some point somebody said, why aren't we throwing ads up on this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God, money, yes, ads.
Money.
Let's make sure the guy that originally wrote this gave us the idea. He doesn't give shit. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. But fuck it, I'm not the one getting ripped off for making the money, so.
This is true.
Nothing to do with me.
The Witcher. Oh, dude, that reminds me. But something brought it up earlier. The guy that wrote the Witcher books.
Oh yeah.
Sold off the rights for the Witcher video games. For like $12,000, no royalties or anything. He thought they were going to be a total failure. So he just fucking sold all that shit, all the rights off for $12,000.
That's gotta hurt,
dude. Why wouldn't you at least ask for 1%, even if you only think it's going to be $50 or something? Like, you know what I mean? It's fucking. Yeah, obviously now it's one of the biggest fucking series out there. Although obviously,
why would you? Oh, I lost the thought. Damn it.
Yeah. Even if you think it's going to be a failure, why not throw in a little bit of royalties? Claim a little bit of royalties from it.
Why would you be putting all that work in on something you genuinely think is going to be a failure, too? Is the other question I would be asking. It's like, all right, you wanna do this thing or that thing or make this thing or whatever. But
I don't think the writer had anything to do with them. The production of the games, I think he just sold off the rights and had nothing to do with them.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be a failure. I doubt he was putting any work in on it. I think he literally just sold off the rights and said, yeah, whatever, base it on the books, whatever. But yeah,
irony.
They managed to piss Henry Cavill off enough to quit playing fucking Geralt. The Witcher.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Geralt the Witcher. I don't remember names in shows very well.
Okay, yeah. Well, Henry Cavill is the one that played, Superman.
The actor's name I remember. I just don't learn the shows the names of characters in shows all that often. Unless they're really basic shows like Family Guy or something like that,
Yeah, all right. So basically, he was a huge fan of The Witcher, the books, the games, all that shit. Like, he's a huge fucking nerd. So he wanted to play The Witcher really badly. Fucking had his agent calling him constantly. He was bugging his agent and shit. And he was doing interviews, and he's like, yeah, no, I'll play Geralt for the whole 9-season run or whatever, as long as they stay true to the source material. And he's done after 3 seasons. Because the people that are writing it either have no fucking love for it or actively hate the source material. And they're not being remotely true to it. And they're essentially making the women the most important characters. They're kind of writing them as a secondary fucking character. Because, that's how things are done nowadays. Can't have a man being the main hero in a fucking show.
Oh, well, it's like commercials. I'm sick and tired of watching commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like 30 black people. Because and it's not
Yeah, it's the
because
forced fucking.
and it's not because they're black and I don't like black people. It's
Yeah.
because it's such nonsense. It's such pandering bullshit. It's like you're appealing to a smaller market as if they're like the only market, and it's a terrible idea for your business.
Yeah, because you don't want to be called racist.
Yeah, exactly. It's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's again being roundly rejected. Every still won't fucking stop. I mean, how much money has fucking Disney lost because of that fucking nonsense?
Dude, I mean,
shit,
how much
have we
money
talked
has
about
Disney
Rachel
lost
Zegler?
for all sorts of shit, man?
Yeah. Have you been following the fucking Snow White thing with that fucking Rachel Zegler bitch?
Oh, how she's tanking it slowly over time?
Yeah, she's a totally unlikable cunt, talking about how bad the original was. And, you know, that thing that everyone loves and has for fucking 90 years or whatever? Just shitting on it, talking about how bad it is.
Yeah.
And how the prince was a stalker or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's some weird shit. Like, I wonder where you got that stuff from. We didn't have any powerful women. What about the queen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and talking about how, no, she's not defined about just wanting to fall in love. Gonna, you know, like, it's, the shit you'd expect nowadays. The woke nonsense. So, dude, everyone hates her. Like, even the leftists fucking hate this bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's managed to fucking piss off everybody somehow.
Well, I mean,
It's
she's basically disparaged to the point of ruining any chances for success.
Yeah.
A big movie, you know? She's screwed over a lot of people.
And it could be just me, but I don't find that bitch attractive at all. And I love Hispanic women. And I don't find her attractive at all.
Yeah, I don't believe
Like,
you.
even before I found out about the shit, I'm like, she's playing Snow White? What the fuck? Like, I mean, it's odd that it's a fucking, not, you know, Snow White, like it's right in the fucking name. It's odd that she was a you know, half Hispanic or whatever the fuck she is, but she's just not fucking pretty. Again, maybe it's not my type of pretty, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that girl I was talking about earlier that went into OnlyFans, and it's like, she's kind of fucking ugly. Like,
and yet, I guess there's
these
still a
dudes
market.
are throwing money at her. I think she's charging something like $100 some odd for like feet pics or something. Which is just sad.
Right.
God, can you imagine if you had to explain that to everybody you knew? That you were buying feet pictures online?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fucking bizarre.
Incredibly fucking awkward that would be.
I assume they're not volunteering that information. They're not letting people know that they're buying feet pics online. And yeah, it's fucking funny because a lot of the fucking dudes that are into feet pic are into like really ugly feet. Like, not all of them, but there's a good chunk of them. Like, the more fucked up the feet are, the hotter they get.
Oh yeah. Well, there's also what do you call it? Like repositories for feet, I guess you call it, where it's like you can get on there and search and find, you know, whoever's feet you want to find, kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of odd paying money for, you know, when there's fucking tons and tons of pics of fucking people's feet.
Oh yeah, you can find like all sorts of celebrities' feet just for free online. That's always going to be there.
Yeah. I think Brie Larson had some looking feet, if I remember. Her toes look almost like fingers, like they're really long. All right, now I gotta remember. There's something weird about Brie Larson's feet, I think. All right, Brie Larson feet.
Oh my God, are you looking it
I
up?
must
No,
know.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, I can't remember. I thought it was that they're like long toes or something like that, like really long.
Oh, I'm sure she's got gnarly
It's not
looking
as
feet.
gross.
She's kind of a gross person.
Right. So yeah, I mean, after you see after the pepper and patty nipple bitch or whatever tit bitch, everything's kind of downhill from there. I think.
Good to know. Good to know.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's. All right. I don't like that bad. They're kind of long. Okay. This is a really bad pic. Well, why is that so fucking granulated? Hold on, I gotta find a better pic than that. Come on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can see what they're talking about. Yeah, they're definitely very long and skinny, dude. But again,
I can see.
some dude that's into that shit. Here's a good one to her at the gym. There you go. God damn, those look prehensile, dude. Those are like chimp feet or something. I feel like she should be able to grab shit. That's fucking gross, right?
I feel like there's something with the angle of the cam. Like they're probably inordinately long, but there has to be some sort of camera effect that's going on there, like a perspective issue or an angle or something that's just making them look even longer. Because they look like fingers, dude. It looks like she has fingers on the end of her fucking
that might
feet.
be fun. Yeah, that might be. I don't know, dude. Yeah, especially the one right next to the pinky seems especially long. All right, here's another one that it doesn't look as bad.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just
long.
saying it's like disturbing.
Yeah. Now here's one that's a more complimentary angle, but you can still tell that they're pretty fucking long.
Weird.
Yeah, so I just posted another one it doesn't make them look as fucking weird, but you can still tell they're fucking. Dude, what's wrong with her toenails? They're not painted. Did she not paint her toenails?
Nope.
Or is that the color?
That's just the kind of quirky thing that she do, because she's a quirky girl that's not like everyone else.
Damn.
You know what I'm
talking about. I liked her in Scott Pilgrim.
Don't remember. I know I've seen the movie, but I don't remember it. Did not leave enough of an impression that I memorized it.
Is it Zoe Deschanel? That seems to be the go for quirky Hollywood shit or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that was a bit of an unflattering picture, but also, yeah, those are toes, dude. Jesus Christ, they're like long and skinny.
Fucking feet.
That's a fucking. I don't know if I'm not sure what hammer toe means, but I feel like it kind of might apply to her big toes.
Well, I mean, hammer toe. Your big toe looks like a fucking hammer compared to the rest of your toes. It's like oversized and like gnarly looking and shit.
It is at least. It looks like it's at least twice as wide.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why she would let anybody see those things in public. God damn. Oh yeah, I guess foot fetish guys. Like that's incredibly fucking hot for them, I guess.
For some money, they might be like willing to if she's like, hey baby, touch my dick with your feet.
Yeah. I can't wait until she's to the point where she has an OnlyFans. She's only showing her feet. Because nobody wants to hire her for movies anymore.
We can dream. Unfortunately, once you've got name recognition to a certain extent, like hers, you will always be able to find work acting. You may not necessarily be in blockbusters, but There's always going to be people that'll pay you to be in their movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like how like YouTubers down the majority of the audience. There's still kind of a floor of subscribers and viewers that they're gonna. It's just never gonna be where it was at the height. There's still gonna be fucking people into that into whatever.
Yep, so that's exactly
Yeah, again,
right.
I liked Brie Larson in Scott Pilgrim. She did, although she was playing like an evil bitch, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she played it so well. Shut that actually playing through. I just realized my I had the volume really low. Like, you know, I had the show on, occasionally checking the chat. We missed I Am Hawk early on, apparently, saying hello, because it appears they have not been back. But I Am Hawk, if you somehow hear this later, thanks for stopping by for us to ignore you for a while. But yeah, I had the volume really low, and I was hearing it in my, like, every once in a while. I'm like, why am I hearing a fucking echo?
You know, why not?
And it turns out it was just I was listening to the show in the background at a very low volume and not realizing it.
I blame Jesus.
Yeah, it's a safe bet, dude. Yeah.
Oh man.
So, yeah. Anything else?
I'm sure there's stuff if you want to go far enough back in the Discord, but I can't think anything offhand. And I am looking forward to some food eventually.
Hey, you want to call it, or you want to keep going for a bit?
I think we'll call it. I also
we good.
Done with my game for a while.
Right on. So yeah, if anybody's still listening, and you're not, so you know, bye bye. I actually physically waved